Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Easy Allies podcast in the beautiful month of June. Weather's been nice, sunny, not too gloomy. You know, the old June gloom action.
It's been a bit of it's
like a morning gloom.
Days
It's
start
morning
with
gloom.
yeah, and then they clear up.
So Summer Game Fest, what I had to do was I had to bring like the little light hoodies. So I'd have the hoodie on me when I come in.
Yes.
Keep the chill off.
Yes.
And then like when I ate lunch, I was like, all right, I gotta pull this thing off, put it in my bag, and then before I leave, end up putting it back on again.
Yeah, true.
It's one of those.
It's one of those. Erratic. I love that word. We are here with Michael Damiani. Still here. Going back soon, though.
Yeah.
Maniani.
Yeah.
Head back tomorrow. So next week you get Robamiani.
Robamiani.
Returns.
The imposter.
Yeah.
The cyborg.
Hopefully it'll boot up.
We got Daniel Bloodworth.
Hello.
And making it all happen in there, we got Isla Hink.
Sir.
We got Don Casanova.
Hey-o.
I've had 5 or 6 embargoes in 2 days.
Wow. And of course, we got Gabby Montoot.
Nice.
Yeah. We're going to talk about what's new, what's news, what is going on in this world of video games. SGF just finished. Got a little bit to wrap up regarding the show and some things that we weren't here for. We're going to do a full-on wrap-up. We're also going to be talking about the Xbox and PC gaming shows a little more in detail. Damiani got to play Mina the Hollower.
I played it this morning, too.
And Bloodworth as well. I'm sorry I missed that. And some more Switch 2 news and thoughts now that we're a little over a week into this console's
Still need
life.
to dig more into it, but yeah.
Yeah.
And Silent Hill, baby!
Silent Hill.
Woo!
Silent
And
Hill.
Spaceballs 2, baby!
Yeah, Spaceballs.
Rick Moranis, bro!
I know.
Rick
That's
Wait, did they confirm Rick
bro.
Moranis?
confirmed.
Rick Moranis,
Whoa.
Bill Pullman, Kiki Palmer, dude. The stars
Wow.
are out!
The stars are
All I
out.
saw was the teaser I sent you. That's cool.
Woo!
That is wild. All right, let's dive right in, everybody. The Xbox Summer Game Fest showcase happened. We're here reacting to it, but we didn't really give our deep dive opinions on some
I
of
had to
those
leave
things.
before it was over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You had to zip right on out of here. We
Go
got
pay $10 for parking to see one game.
$10 for a part. Welcome to LA. Jeez.
It's pretty cheap.
Yeah. The Outer Worlds 2, they showed that, and then there was a deep dive later on in
yeah.
the show.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you if you want to pull in other things.
Yeah.
But, like, if you want to just stick to the highlighted stuff.
Great.
Yeah.
Skip them.
Yeah, 'cause we can
Skip
do
it
a
all,
highlight.
baby!
I am upset that the Outer Worlds 2 is $80. Do you think it's justified that I'm upset?
I think that your conspiracy theory that they've made it $80 so more people would get Game Pass is correct.
I'm serious. This is crazy. Like, I totally understand there's a lot going on, you know, tariffs, inflation, rising costs, all sorts of things to affect video game prices. And obviously, Nintendo did it with Mario Kart. And we complained about it, of course, but then we also say, like, yo, it is Mario Kart that has, like, an insane legacy. You know you're getting a quality product. They, out of everyone that is going to do something like this, have maybe kind of, I don't want to say earned the right to charge $80.
Well, that was a scam to get people to buy the bundle, too.
And they had the bundle, of course. But the Outer Worlds, I mean, I think I'm so upset because, like, Outer Worlds 1 was good, but then now you're going to charge $80 for this unproven sequel. And Obsidian, to me, has always been kind of a
I mean,
developer.
any game proven until you played it, but...
Well, no, because people are like, well, what about GTA? And it's like, it's GTA. We know GTA
I mean,
is
I will
top
say
tier.
that, like, you know, Obsidian definitely intentionally limits their scope so they aren't burning themselves out. So, you know, there is that sort of sense for, like, people are like, oh, why doesn't, you know, Avowed have, like, romance options and things like that? So I could see a little bit of that. But, I mean, I think the problem is, Xbox signaled this in something a couple weeks or months ago, in between Mario Kart and now, that they would start going that direction before the end of the year, too.
Yeah.
And it's just
I
like...
think for this
it
one,
is
it's
just
weird.
it's just because it's just the first one of
Yeah.
the new standard.
Like, Blood,
That's all it is.
if it had been the new Gears or the new Halo, I
Right.
would have been,
Gears
but
isn't
it's
this year.
Gears and Halo, like,
Halo's not this year.
yeah. I think just because it's Outer Worlds too, and again, Obsidian to me has always been this developer for the people, so just the whole thing is just makes me feel icky about it.
No,
Yeah.
they want to make money, man.
Yeah, let them make money. Obsidian's great, but freaking $80 is brutal for that. All right, one of the big awesome ones that came out of nowhere,
Yeah.
out of the shadows too.
Well, I don't think any of us even
Resonance?
guessed.
No, not until they showed the title.
Oh, yeah.
Resonance, a Plague Tale Legacy.
Yeah.
Dude! We were looking it up right before the show started, and Plague Tale 2 came out in 2022. It's been 3 years, shockingly. That doesn't seem
Jeez.
real.
Yeah.
Love these games. Both Plague Tales are so freaking awesome. The vibes of them, the story. And now we're getting this weird, cool spin-off with the ancient temples and minotaurs and weird cables.
Yeah, I've got a little, barely anything on the blog here.
Yeah.
Original story set 15 years before the events of the previous game.
So that's
Requiem.
close, actually. Wow, I thought it could be like way before or way after. Or
Oh.
15 years is not much because the other ones are like 13 something, 1300s.
Yeah, I don't know the
So,
exact time.
Yeah, it's like 13 something or other.
New action adventure approach. So definitely getting a little
Okay.
bit more action here.
Yeah,
not
the
just
first
a
two
stealth
are
game.
a lot more stealth.
Yep.
There is combat, but it's stealth.
Sophia is the main character
Woo!
with a PH.
That's some bullshit.
Journey with her to the Minotaur's Island.
So hyped. If you're so smart, why aren't you rich? The Riddler Batman episode where they go into the Minotaur maze. One of my all-timers.
Confront the creature at the heart of a devastating curse.
Yo.
Sword in one hand and a light in the other.
Cool.
Plunge into the myth of the macula. I don't know that word.
Macula.
I don't know what the macula is.
What the hell is
Those
this?
are like
Only showing a
Machina.
section of this.
Awesome. Any other thoughts on that? We know nothing. I'm just so happy that this franchise is continuing to grow.
Yeah, building games that are set in the universe, but
Yeah.
aren't necessarily continuation of those first few games.
Love that.
Very good, very smart to do that. for
Really,
sure.
really love that. I know.
Especially if you're changing gears with the, more action-oriented combat system.
Totally. Totally. A nice, meaningful spin-off. Hell yeah. Any thoughts in there? Isla, you liked Plague Tale, right? Or no? I
Heart
forget.
cold, head empty, baby.
I don't even know.
I got no thoughts.
No thoughts. That's it.
No, I played one of these for like 20 minutes.
Chill.
I thought it looked cool.
Yeah. The first one was like a little rough around the edges, a tiny bit, just technically. Loved it, obsessed with it. And then 2 really cleaned it up, refined it. So, awesome.
Oh yeah.
All right, the name that we still cannot, and that's 2026, by the way. So details will start dripping out of there as time goes on. Very excited. I don't know how you say it. Who knows?
It's ROG. It's not a mystery. You
But
are the
it's
only
always
people
been
that have ever
ROG,
been
but
confused
this is a
about this.
mystery.
But ROG is the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard. Girl called it the Xbox Ally the whole time.
That's funny. They do actually say, they do shorten it here on the blog too. But yeah, the
I think
full
it's called
name.
the Xbox Ally.
It
and
is
it's-
ROG Xbox Ally.
It fills me with rage blood.
the name?
And the ROG
ROG
Xbox
is
Ally
so
X.
deeply stupid. Like it's Republic of Gamers, which is also really stupid.
Yeah, no, ROG is at least an improvement on that.
All of it is stupid, and the fact that it says ROG on the front in bold white lettering is awful.
Yeah, I would put a sticky note on it to cover it up, probably.
I will scratch it off with a key.
Not a fan.
And of course, the fact that the ROG Ally already exists.
Can you just call it the Xbox Ally Blood?
I'm just going to call it the Xbox handheld when it comes down to
literally
it.
pings my heart
But the problem is
when you
that
say ROG. I'm getting upset.
the problem is that it's also it's the two thing. It's the Xbox Ally and the Xbox Ally X, Like
Yeah,
always.
Xbox is awful at naming
It's
everything.
awful.
Ally series.
They combined two
Xbox.
people that can't name things, and they made a baby.
It's really insane. Before we get into it, I do want to obviously bring up the hornet in the room that it was showing.
Not a saying.
It was showing so much Silk Song.
Dude.
The thing that
So
everyone
I get it
freaks
now,
out
I
about
get
in
it.
every
No.
conference. It could be a Playdate
No.
presentation, and somebody's like, "Is Silk Song gonna be
Yeah,
there?"
and didn't the member of their team clarify that the launch is not tied to any piece of hardware,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's actually coming out before
Yeah.
holiday, or not coming out when this is coming out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
apparently.
it's not synced up, but
Yeah.
but Xbox is apparently saying that like Silk Song will be out before this is out.
It's
So-
really close now. It feels.
Or they'll just delay the machine until Silk Song is ready.
We have never been closer to the actual release of Silk Song. That is exciting. We are months away now. We can really say that we're months
But it
away from
was-
Silk Song.
It was Xbox. It was Xbox that said like all of these titles are coming out
Right.
this year,
Yeah,
like 4
yeah.
years ago.
Yeah,
Do
for
you
sure.
think that they're running this shit by the Silk Song team, or are they just?
For this, I would
I'm
imagine.
intimately
I do-
familiar with Xbox hardware.
I do feel like they're just throwing out that out there because that's what they assume, and that's like what the projected dates are, and then it's like, oh, well, that didn't happen.
Trying to will
It's
a
crazy.
big surprise into your
Yeah.
showcase.
I got two questions about all this. I'm going to start with Bloodworth.
Yeah.
You got to see this?
Yeah, I played a
or-
little bit of Gears on it.
So tell us about it.
Yeah.
How did it feel? What are
Yeah,
your
no,
vibes?
the feel of it is really good, and thankfully they had the normal Ally there to compare it to the one that's out right now because I haven't played on that before,
Yeah.
right? And having the more like defined grips there, I think definitely helps. These little buttons on the side, I guess they're still working on, but it was hilarious because I was in a dark room and I'm supposed to push like the options button. I'm like, I have no idea where it is. I cannot see these buttons.
That's very funny.
How thick is it? It looks kind of thick in the middle.
It's a bit thick for sure.
Nice, thick.
But the crazy thing was that it was just running at such a high frame rate because Gears was locked to 60 frames per second on consoles, and on this thing it was running between 90 and like 110.
That's crazy.
But keep in mind, like this says a 1080 screen, it has VRR.
Sure.
It's not running at like full 4K.
So it's 1080p 120 versus like a 4K.
Right,
60 or
exactly.
whatever. Yeah. Still,
And as that came up,
give
like
me
a
the
couple of
frames.
people pointed out in the comments. I thought, yeah, of course. But
give me the frames.
but,
Give me the frames, Lord.
Give me the frame.
But compared
Lord.
to going because they had the other Ally there, and I go over there and played that, and I'm like, well, this thing is chugging, and it was on medium settings.
Wow.
So
The base model.
not the base model, the current Ally.
The current one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at
okay.
the event, they only had the
it.
Xbox Ally X for me to try, unless they had the other one in another room, because there's another more deep dive session on the hardware that I wasn't invited to.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Like
Anyway,
Resident Evil 9.
that was a thing that not just for me. There were a lot of people that were like, why didn't we get more of these appointments? So they just kind of
Gotta be-
spread us out.
gotta
to
be a
like,
big fry.
Just
Fat
put us all
fries.
in a hat. You get that game. I'm like, why? Because I don't know. That's the name we picked out of the hat for this game. So yeah, it was weird. It was a very weird event. Had a dog sniff my bag, all that stuff.
Whoa.
Like a drug dog or just like some
Yes,
cute dog?
and exactly a drug dog had to sniff my
Wow.
bag for me to get into that building.
Did they smell all your heroin?
I did not.
That's lucky.
So it seems like it performs really well, Bloodworth, and then now I want to turn it to just everyone, I guess, Damiani and Isla specifically. I know you rock the handhelds. Where do we stand on the future of handhelds? Is this another step into just like gaming on the go taking over? Is this the future?
Should also probably caveat this answer with the fact that there was a report today, I think, from Tom Warren, who said that Microsoft has apparently silently sidelined their own.
Oh no!
Portable?
They reported that like, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
The one that
sorry.
they were working on that was supposed to be like an
so
actual Xbox.
There's like a update today. Sorry,
Oh, there's
I forget
more
what.
info? Okay,
Yeah,
I missed
I forget.
that.
I don't want to say what it is because I like just glanced over it. So I think with this announcement, that kind of like reaffirmed what we saw before, and then what else was reported today, that Microsoft is software and service. They are probably going to want their thing on every piece of hardware. So yes, portable from Microsoft, they'll be like on all of that, but they're not going to be pushing like their, this is, I think, as far as they go. It's like partnering with other hardware manufacturers to do this. But Sony, you're like, yes, in a broad sense, like, I think, I don't know if I fully am on board that Sony's going to do like a handheld or not. I mean, obviously the Portal is selling very well. And they're
surprisingly.
And it's like came as a surprise, as Blood said. So maybe they're rethinking that, but also cost. We have no idea how much this thing is going to cost. We're all joking it's going to be at least $1,000. So it's like,
I mean, not even joking. Like every one of us that have seen this thing in person are like, that's what we think it will probably be around.
That's an educated guess for sure.
Would it be 800 maybe? Sure. But it's not going to be cheap.
No.
I think portable handhelds that are like this portable PCs are going to be a thing going forward. I just don't know. It's like Microsoft is just, going to stay this course with it. And I would imagine maybe Sony might be considering that. And then you have like Nintendo doing what they're doing. So I think, it's always going to be there, Huber. Yeah. I think the price, it's going to be about like the price. Like, is it priced right for people to get in versus a console?
For sure.
And also keeping in mind that like this is something that is, people still have their phones. They take their Switch with them. How many portable devices are people willing to get? Like, are we going to hit a point of saturation?
I'm not super into handhelds. I like to just game at home. When I'm out doing stuff. When I'm home, I'm gaming. But the idea, like we always kind of riff at Game Pass, incredible value. But the idea of just having like all of Game Pass on this portable device, obviously Steam Deck too, you can like connect to all that stuff. But just that idea is like really crazy to think about how many games you can have on the go. Just everything. Yeah. And then obviously cross-save and cross-play becoming,
that's
standard.
That's the thing. That's like one of the biggest things for people to keep in mind that, like, even though everything is an Xbox, technically this is not an Xbox. Technically this is still a PC running Windows. And so it's like the only Xbox games that can run on this thing are Xbox games that run on PC already. And that's why they were so big about emphasizing Play Anywhere during the conference, because they're pushing. So it's like, if you buy this on Xbox, you can still play it on PC, et cetera, because this is the kind of thing.
The current Ally X is $800. So
wait, there's a current Ally that's called an Ally X?
Apparently so, yes.
Oh my gosh.
There's the ROG Ally. ROG is capitalized when written on their actual website.
Yes.
The Ally is $449. This is pounds, and then the ROG Ally X is 799 pounds on the website I'm looking at.
Jesus. It's intense.
All right.
The current one is $1,000.
Yeah.
So
so it might be more than 1,000.
Could be like 1,200.
Yeah, it could be up there.
Prices are varying that I'm looking up.
Yeah, and they're also trying to streamline Windows or whatever, so that it's simpler to get to your games.
Is there any benefit to having this instead of its Steam Deck, or is it just preference?
Until they make a new Steam Deck, it's going to be a more capable piece of hardware.
Yeah, going to be quicker.
And then the form factor is going to be the biggest thing, because I've never been like the biggest fan of like how the Steam Deck feels. This already feels a little bit more comfortable and stuff. Except they got to do something about those buttons on the side, man. Those little tiny buttons.
Yeah, those things.
Yeah, I think this thing is uggo, dude. And the fact that it says ROG on it, it makes me so fucking angry.
Maybe we'll come with the Xbox logo in there instead for an extra $100.
Remove the.
I would pay it.
I mean, also the last thing, my only concern with handhelds like this, which aren't made by like Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo, is that certain games, their UI and stuff, not being designed to play on such like a small screen like this. Obviously, there's like degrees of customization you can do, but definitely gonna be some games where you really will, no matter how well it runs, you probably do not want to play it on such a small screen. So, that's one thing I think will always be a need. There'll always be a demand for preferring to play on like console or playing on a more traditional PC. But I don't know. I mean, these you can obviously like hook these up to something
To a
like,
dock, yeah.
like
I
a dock?
asked them about
Okay.
that.
Yeah, then
specifically,
if there's a dock and stuff and to start doing like that, then sure, it'll be
Yeah,
it'll
and
be fine.
Cerebon came out, so again, this is a huge thing. Cerebon comes out and starts talking about it. So that to me signals that
Yeah.
it's one of their focuses.
Saying freedom.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
The freedom of Windows.
There were a handful of other things. Again, we're not going to talk about everything. That vampire game looks sick and Super Meat Boy.
Yeah,
and
they said there's going to be a
Ninja Gaiden.
bigger gameplay reveal for Dawn Walker later.
Yeah,
so
hyped.
look forward to that later.
and then obviously the Indiana Jones expansion. I'm really hyped about that coming out. So, but one of the newer ones we saw, Beast of Reincarnation.
Yeah, Game Freak's game.
Yeah.
This was
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Game
Sorry,
Freak,
the title and like
yeah.
It's
So
got a Game Freak ass frame rate too.
it did.
Yeah, it does.
So what's interesting about this? This was initially announced. They teased this without a title under Private Division, and then 2K just completely gutted that whole publisher. Now this new publisher, Fictions, has picked it up.
Fiction.
And you know who Fictions is?
No.
All the people that walked out of Annapurna.
Whoa.
So they picked up this, and they picked up, I believe, Lego Party.
Okay.
So those were the Private Division games, and again, like 2K is just like, hey man, if you're not making us Rockstar money, we don't want you anymore. So
Okay.
Crazy. Yeah, it looks pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Cool enemy design.
it reminds me a little bit of Wild Hearts.
Definitely a little Wild Hearts action. The year 4026.
Set it far.
Yeah.
Set it far down the road.
The year of the blight, blighted creatures, clear the blight.
Of course.
Project Bloom is what it was called before.
Project
There we
Project Blight.
Kota Furushima. Is that ringing a bell, Damiani, at Game Freak? Know who that guy is? 'Cause I don't.
Not at the moment. No. I mean, most of the. Yeah. No.
It is post-apocalyptic Japan.
In the year 4000.
Playing as Emma the Sealer.
Nice.
Along with her canine companion.
Yo, I love sealing shit. Kanetsugami, dude. Some Naruto like paper bomb things, dude. Like,
Also, this is the year of the wolf/canine companion. Like, it clearly is. Like, we've seen like what 5 now already.
I can't. I'm not sure whether it's KOO, so I'm not sure if that's Ku or Ko. But and then confront the source of the world's corruption.
Looks good. Looks really good. It's nice to see Game Freak flexing as they usually do. They flex.
What?
Wait, what?
Game
They're
Freak.
flexing, and then everyone's like, "Huh."
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well,
flexing?
on the hardware that they're doing what they like on Switch. Now they're not on Switch. Is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, sorry, because like we just mentioned, like it looked like a little bit framey, and
Of course.
there's
It's early.
been like
You never know.
issues with that. So like when you say flex, I'm like,
Yeah.
sorry, my mind went to a different place than like where you went.
Next up was Clockwork
Yo.
Revolution.
Yeah,
One
This
of the games of the show.
Yeah,
what a-
heck yeah.
I wouldn't even necessarily call it a turnaround because it's not like I thought it looked bad, but man, it's like it went up. It went up a couple of notches
Same.
after this presentation.
It was my favorite trailer, actually.
yeah.
It was my favorite trailer of the whole week.
So what?
Not my favorite game. Up there for sure. Ill was probably my favorite game. But to me, this trailer, like you were saying, Blood, just like rose my hype to unforeseen levels.
Yeah.
Is it okay to say this is what maybe we wanted BioShock Infinite to be?
I gotta revisit Bioshock Infinite, honestly.
It's definitely along those lines.
I need to revisit
Yeah.
it. The villains look extremely villainous and hateable.
It's a pissed off
good.
doll.
Yeah. Just really good world. We've seen a lot of steampunk clock stuff lately, it kind of feels like. But that didn't matter because this game has so much personality, and the writing and the acting looked just so good.
I really love this part
Yeah.
in the
yeah.
trailer when he's like, someone's trying to kill me, and the cop robot is like, can you think of someone who would want to kill you? And then they both just start cracking up because he's such an asshole. I thought that, okay, this game's got a good sense of humor.
Your
like-
name is Morgan Vanette.
The player's name?
Yeah, but it's interesting because you can customize your character completely.
I mean, Morgan, yeah, that's a
very
neutral name.
Yeah, it can go either way.
Nice.
A member of the Rotten Row Hooligans.
Rotten Row Hooligans. It's
Yeah, this
badass.
game looks fun, dude.
It looks super
Yeah.
fun.
So you find out that she's messed with time already, and so that's what gets you on there.
Yeah.
Controlling time manipulation.
I mean, yeah, that's what. Yeah, it looked pretty solid, and then they started showing that time manipulation stuff.
Yeah.
And it just pushed it over the top for me.
Yeah.
Also, like the UI for the interface for like all the menus for custom, like like really good. Like looks
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
I was getting Game Freak and Monolith confused.
Okay, I was about to say like, what are you
Yeah.
guys like? I was a little lost here, bro. I was like,
was
I'm
it.
not sure where
That
you're
was it.
going.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure
Okay.
if you've
Yeah.
ever put out a technical.
Of course. Yeah.
I'm like,
That was,
okay.
yeah. Q corrections musically. Yeah.
So Monolith is a actual first-party Nintendo developer.
for sure, for sure.
Game Freak
Monolith
is a Nintendo
soft.
partner.
Yep. I really like time powers in games are kind of hit or miss for me, and I think when they interact the actual world and narrative, I think that is a recipe for success. Just like them emphasizing, you know, changing the past to change the future, all that. Like the whole world looks like it can change depending on how you handle things. So yeah, who knows how much like freedom is in this, like Dishonored style? Are we going to be able to, you know, kill and save people or side with people?
Yeah, I wonder. I'm curious how much it will like live and die by that, because you know some people probably get like crazy expectations for because they were showing like the newspapers updating with some significant historical changes based on what you did. Now is that like end game level stuff, or in moment to like mission to mission, are you going to see those changes play out when you get access to that stuff? Like I'm kind of curious when it starts to kick in and to what extent.
Oh, so I'm scanning over the interviews that they
Scanning,
did with
collating.
Brian Fargo and some of the other developers. So they're talking about multiple person conversations, and where you actually choose who you're even going to talk to.
Oh yeah, in the demo there was the person behind the villain, and they were like, "I want to talk to them," and they're like, "No, you got to talk to me."
Yeah, they says this can wildly change where a conversation ends up going. In the case of the trailer, Morgan chose to speak to Errol instead of Alfie.
So cool.
And despite obvious warnings, that resulted in poor Errol's death.
Crazy. So changes. That is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
And he's not in the rest of the game.
Oh my gosh. Crazy. Yeah, one of my most anticipated. I think all of us kind of just.
Yeah.
That was such a great trailer.
Definitely shot up there.
Yeah. Awesome. Got to see how combat and platforming feel, and then obviously the choices.
Yeah.
Super cool.
A lot more to dig into on that interview, too.
Yeah. Handful of other games they were showing too that we talked about a lot. You know, Grounded and Island.
Yeah,
I
we'll
really
get to
liked.
Grounded when we get to the deep dive ahead later. But yeah.
Island, I really like that. Chronos, the new Dawn, or no. I'm Crystal, that one.
You're thinking of Crystal.
Yeah, Crystal looks sick. Chronos, the new Dawn looks great though.
That's
Bloober,
the Bloober vagina
yep,
helmet.
Bloober just on a little hot streak. So hopefully it continues with that one because it looks really intense. Survival horror vibes, you know I'm in. Another one is there are no ghosts at the Grand. S tier name,
Oh, yeah.
Isla.
Yeah, it's good.
This like musical, like murder mansion craziness going on.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the developer is called Friday Sunday, and Sunday is like an ice cream sundae.
Saturday.
Yeah, and it's like a musical.
Yeah,
The vibes are off
crazy.
the charts. It looked really cozy.
You inherit a crumbling English hotel and restore it by day while battling ghosts by night.
That is such a fun gameplay loop. I'm
You have exactly
so in.
30 days and 30 nights to renovate it before something else claims it.
Whoa.
Oh, so it's kind of like those houses in Italy where you gotta like get them for like $1, but you gotta like restore them within
it.
X amount of years.
You're on the clock.
Wait, the power tools are okay. The
Yeah,
power,
the power
tools
tools
talk to you.
It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
cool. It's such a cool vibe.
Yeah, so you use them by day. There's a sandblaster, a paint sprayer, furniture cannon. We saw that. Yep, daisy chain gun.
And then using the device seems to be like causing rifts and tears in the world and stuff we see a little bit later. Things start getting a little bugaboo.
Puzzles.
When
Yeah.
night falls, the power tools will transform into weapons against creatures that haunt the hotel hallways. Turn the vacuum cleaner upon a supernatural entities. Yeah, Ghostbusters
Yeah,
right
so
there.
awesome.
Vacuum
Luigi's
cleaning,
Mansion.
Luigi's Mansion, yeah.
And paint sprayer, subdue spooks. Well-aimed bookcase to the face with the furniture. Nice.
It looks like you have Kraken written down here as well.
Oh yeah, I think there's a little spot in there.
A
We had-
Kraken.
Yeah.
There's the old Kraken. Don.
Might not be the only time we talk about a Kraken tonight.
Yeah. Awesome. 2026.
Oh, they have different musical styles for the musical bits too.
So awesome.
They say ska, wartime jazz, and skater punk.
Awesome.
Not guess skater punk.
That's a good variety.
Yeah.
Sign me up. Cool. We saw a couple other things as well. Age of Mythology retold. Super hype. Fishing for Fallout.
Oh yeah.
One thing we're not going to talk about, but it frickin' got me hyped as hell. TMNT and Tony Hawk.
Oh,
3
yeah.
and 4.
How much-
Michelangelo, dude.
Included, or you think you have to pay extra?
Ooh, dude, turtles, they usually
Yeah,
cost.
that's the turtle stack.
You gotta pay up turtle turtle. Yeah, the turtle tax, dude. You gotta pay. Also, the Doomslayer, but we had already known that. He rides his chainsaw. So cool. Big one we saw was At Fate's End.
Fate's End. Oh,
Yeah, this is the other Thunder Lotus game.
Yeah.
With the sword neck girl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta boot up 33 Immortals again. I
really
love
like
it.
the art style on this. Definitely reminds me a little bit of something like Neva.
Never,
Oh,
ever.
this one referring to your family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
the
your sister,
sister
but like it looked
drama.
like, but it showed like another character had the same last name as you. So I think
You
you
find
find
your
your family.
dad and your mom, it seemed like, too.
So it's like Succession.
Or they say you're acting like mom. It's like Succession.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
a family drama.
Yeah,
Successionvania.
Yes, that's good.
your princess wielding the divine god sword Acis,
Love Divine God Swords.
and then to claim her birthright, she must confront her estranged siblings in intense, emotionally charged duels.
Sick. Looks good.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Thunder Lotus.
There's the dialogue in the combat too.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that. That's a cool. When that popped up, it was like, oh, that's super neat. Being able to taunt, or not even taunt, but just kind of dictate the emotions of the boss fight, depending on what you pick to say. It's really cool.
I forgot the guy who took out his spine as his sword. That was this one, yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Looks really striking. So in. Another 2026 game. A lot of 2026s filling in the year. They
Yeah,
are not bowing
they got
down
like-
to GTA. They
got-
are not
They
intimidated.
got 4 months. They got 4 months. They got a 4-month release window there. It's plenty of time.
There is no intimidation. We also saw Gears of War Reloaded, looking great. Can't wait to play with this guy right here, Damiani.
Yeah, show me the ropes.
Oh.
Show me all the tricks.
One of the best co-op campaigns of all time. And then a big one, but a little one, from the little one in the sense of what we saw.
Yeah, they just teased.
Oh, Persona
4.
What a 40-second trailer.
Yeah, what a
Something.
tease.
What's going on here?
But it looks
what?
beautiful. It's as someone who's like already played it and is always
seeing it in the Persona 5 engine,
Yeah. So I've already played it, and I'm also overwhelmed with how many games there are right now. So I'm in no rush to play it or see any more. But just seeing it in motion took my breath away. It looks so good.
I'm very curious about like quality. Obviously, I haven't played a lot of Persona 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's the when this comes out, I'll finally like play through the entirety of
Yeah.
it. Like, you know,
That was me with 3.
3 and 5 I have
Yeah.
played through.
Yeah, I was
but
4 and 5.
I'm curious about the quality of life changes they'll do, because 3 got a lot of quality of life
Yeah.
content changes to it as well. So like, what are they gonna like change up with it?
Totally.
Like outfits. There's a big thing in Persona 3 with an outfit
sure.
change at some point. I guess is alluded to in here.
Mm-hmm.
So be kind of curious to see if they do something, if it is that, and what it's gonna be, and also extra content, because we got
They love doing that.
yeah,
they
they always
love
do.
it.
will it be standalone, or sorry, DLC, or are they going to do a definitive edition down the line? You know how they do this with Persona games.
Yeah. Just the shot of the classroom with the sun coming in and the drapes blowing, just like lazy school afternoon.
empty, like,
such a vibe.
Hubert, you know what's hilarious? is the press release says almost nothing about this game. Right?
Yeah,
Like
wish list came in pre-order.
but
Persona.
but
what?
at the end they tease us more. Additionally, we're actively preparing for the future development of the Persona series as a studio. We are working hard to meet the expectations of fans around the world, and our work is progressing well.
I love it. I think it's so great. They have
The P6Ts.
they've gone full Yakuza in my mind of updating their games, putting their games on different platforms, remaking the older ones to let everybody catch up and play those. Like they're doing it right. I love everything they're doing while we wait for Persona 6, and of course we had Metaphor last year as well. So just killing it,
There you are.
killing it. Sea of Thieves, I really want to play with Isla again. We got to play.
Yeah.
They showed some of that.
Smugglers.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 16 dropped on Xbox right then
Shadow
and there.
dropped, yep.
Also, they're getting the remake and integrate in the winter. And Invincible's getting a fighting game as well. And then we saw Keeper from Double Fine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Looks very intriguing.
Yeah.
Giant walking
What?
light tower.
I know.
This
Well,
is
with-
exactly
how do you-
the kind
how
of
do you even
madness
pitch
that's one
this?
out of Double
Like
Fine, man.
scale.
Yeah.
Just seeing like the levels with their scale, and then like seeing both like open environments and like when it gets a little bit more claustrophobic, it's like wait, because you're giant.
Yeah.
But also you have a companion with you too, which is kind of like crazy as well, because you send out this like bird thing to do other things, obviously alluded to in the trailer. But I mean, I wonder if like just walking around is gonna be like a challenge, like the beginning,
I know,
like
it
the tutorial.
looks
Like,
like-
is there gonna be any mechanic behind that where you have to like keep your balance
Yeah.
or something?
Because we
Or-
look top
yeah.
heavy here,
Yeah.
sure.
But part of me thinks it's the beginning, like you come to life and it's like, I don't know how to
Yeah.
walk yet. But man, these environments look so good.
And just what a creative
let me ask you,
premise.
is those who are more into what they've done in the past, especially with Psychonauts, are you happy that they're tentatively moving on from Psychonauts and doing something new and
yeah,
original?
Yeah.
I mean,
we had the VR
there
one,
were
which
so
is
many games that
in
they did between
between.
Psychonauts and Psychonauts 2. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that was actually my kind of conjecture and disappointment before the reveal was that like, man, where are Double Fine? It feels like it's taking them forever to put anything out when they used to have a pretty good cadence of like, here's our big games and here's some small games that are kind of like, they have the internal game jams and stuff. But yeah, this is just incredible looking,
Yeah.
because it's got
And it's coming soon.
it's got
Yeah.
17th, October 17th. But yeah, it's got almost that kind of like Tim Burton kind of aesthetic going on, like a Nightmare Before Christmas or something, you
Yeah.
know, with
Yeah.
how everything looks.
Just pure
Stop motion,
creativity.
yeah.
They say that story told without words. So
Love that.
yeah, everything is going to be done through visuals and music and all of that.
Emotions.
Howl's moving
And
castle
then,
again.
yeah, I guess your light is used to affect things in the environment as well.
Definitely.
So that is a part of.
There's going to be scary parts where you have to guide your little bird companion with your light, maybe. Awesome. And it's Double Fine. So that just immediately elevates the hype and the expectations. Cool. Coming out October 16th or 17th, I'm sorry.
the creative lead is the guy who was art director for Brutal Legend.
Great.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then Phil came out, 25 years of Xbox, hyping it up, gave a recap. And then we got one last game.
Yeah.
We didn't even know what it was
It
until
was-
the very, very end. The name drop.
Yeah.
Right when they said
kudos to like
Menendez.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
kudos to presenting something that didn't look anything like what you thought would be Call of Duty.
Exactly.
Well, they're 40 years after Black Ops 6.
The Black Ops timeline is actually insane and takes place over like 100 plus years. It's more than maybe even more, dude. It's insane. It is an insane timeline.
Did you
I
see
love.
the co-op campaign?
Did I see it?
Yeah, did you know
That it has it?
the campaign is co-op?
I did not know.
Yeah.
I think the other ones weren't they? There
You
was
would know.
one,
You would
yeah.
know better than me.
Yeah.
I popped into multiplayer
I think
for
one
6,
of
but I
them
didn't play the
was.
campaign.
I forget. Yeah, I think I have this weird memory of like playing with Kyle maybe
Okay.
on one of them. I don't remember. Now they all blend, and that's what I want to get at here. Actually, is I love Call of Duty. I've finished every single game, every single one I've finished, played them all.
That's an achievement.
It's a pleasure. I love it. This is
Yeah.
a franchise I grew up with on computer. Call of Duty 1. because it was like World War II stuff. My dad like loves history, got me into it. Love Milo Ventimiglia.
Yeah.
Obsessed with the man. Team Jess all the way. And then, of course, Menendez is a big legendary villain in Black Ops.
And here
lore.
we got the freaking Crew 2 going on.
we're
with
getting
the folding
Inception
world.
vibes.
like what is this?
Yeah.
When has this type of stuff gone on in
The one
previous
with
games? Okay.
Stabler from Law and Order SVU.
Oh,
That one. The Stabler one was like insane. And there was all this weird lore here.
it's so funny because like my brain was thinking Quantum Break, and it was like, that can't make sense.
Same.
Like it shouldn't be Quantum Break, but what the
Yeah.
heck is happening?
But then we realized that it's Call of Duty, and it's like, oh, you know, the trailer was really cool, and I'm obviously going to play it. I like Call of Duty, but can Call of Duty ever be exciting anymore? That's my question to you. Can Call of Duty be exciting?
I don't know.
Like a reveal, like, oh, Call of Duty, or is it just so saturated and so known that, you know, we just take it for granted and it's an expected thing?
I feel I mean, from my limited interactions with Call of Duty, I mean, you'd either do something like this with misdirection, where it's a surprise. The surprise is the reveal, but
Yeah,
like,
it was
are you actually
surprising.
surprised? Are you feeling like excited for Call of Duty, or you're just like, wow, they really got me? I didn't know this.
I didn't know. As soon as it was-
but it's Black Ops 7,
Yeah.
so
Right.
cool.
As soon as they said Call of Duty, I was like, oh, cool.
Or when they
It's
did, they did like, was it Future Warfare? You're going to like crazy
Yeah,
locations, like
advanced,
space and stuff.
infinite,
It's
yeah.
like, wait a second, we're going where? And,
Right.
and
Well, I
stuff
mean,
like that.
this is being like 10 years in the future now, 2035.
So is this past? Is this going to be the furthest game in the
No,
future?
there's
No?
another
Okay,
one that's
okay.
like even later. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy.
But that makes it weird.
Or
yeah.
the spiritual remakes, you know, when they went back
Yeah.
to like that being like, did you get excited for those? Like, we're going back to Modern Warfare 2-ish, sort of, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's the thing that's hard for me because it's like, because it's been so long since I've actually really been checked in. It's like
Black Ops 3 takes place in 2065.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's crazy. It's just it's and it started in like the 80s or something. 60s.
Yeah, the first one.
So it's like over 100 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's the Numbers Mason one, right?
The numbers, Mason.
Thank you. Okay, I remember that.
Favorite meme of all time. Obsessed. But yeah, Milo's cool. Black Ops is cool.
I think it would come down to the gameplay stuff.
Yep.
Really,
We
like
gotta
if
see
they
it.
did stuff that was, because like there's been a couple of times where they've given like live services, like, oh yeah, we're gonna make the levels more open and stuff, and it was
Yeah.
the feedback was just not there. It's
Totally.
like it was yeah,
You're absolutely right.
still a quick like 1-2 night little thing that you blasted through
Yep.
before you got hooked on multiplayer.
Absolutely. Modern Warfare 2 remake was my last like really favorite Call of Duty game where I was just like, oh, it's so good. So
The good thing about that though, if you need to catch up on 6 games, it won't take you long.
yeah, they're quick. All right. Outer Worlds 2.
Yeah, then we got this
Big deep
double
dive.
deep dive
Huge deep dive into Outer Worlds.
with Ben Schwartz.
Yeah. Which
bits
was
in
a
between.
really good.
Sonic.
I liked it. I thought he killed it. It was good. Because he didn't bog it down. Like he was making legitimately funny, humorous jokes, and it kept moving along. You know, they didn't sit in the
They
weird.
worked them into the actual game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They actually had a payoff.
That was funny. Yeah, the knees, of course. All these different
Bad
negative,
knees.
bad knees. all
I
the-
told them that we all loved bad knees.
love that.
So
It's just stealing.
Bad Knees is very good.
yeah. So for people that are not aware, the bad knees. Basically, if you're stealth and you're crouching and then you stand up, your knees will sometimes pop and alert the guards. It's amazing.
Maniac was really cool
Yeah,
too, because
that-
if you're looking at something,
Yeah.
So
you get more
good.
money for selling something that you stole, which is a great positive. But sometimes if you're in a store or a place and you're looking at an item, you'll just steal it without you saying to
Yeah,
steal
you'll auto steal.
it. So you're a kleptomaniac. You can't help yourself. It's so funny.
Sun gazer was crazy. Like if you look at the sun for too long.
They were like, it just makes the game harder to play because you can't see anything.
It looked better in every single way.
Yeah, it really,
Every
it
single
really
way.
does.
Combat, traits, exploration, world vision, like all of it, just top to bottom. And that's what they were saying too. For the sequel, they wanted to improve every aspect of the game, and it's really looking like that. Like they're gonna follow through.
Is
on
this
that.
the one where one of the directors said like this, they've been working on games for how many, like 25 something years? This first one they get to do a direct sequel to?
Yeah.
or something like that. It was kind of
Or
like
Pat-
Okay.
it was that or the other one, but like even the point. I mean, I was trying to give a shout out to Dev, but also conceptually, it's really good when you get to build upon a sequel with mostly the same team and get to improve upon it. Like this is like the result you see,
Yeah.
and you see like these creative ideas, but also like looking at what maybe didn't go well the first time and improving upon them. But also not just simply we're just gonna fix everything people complain about and call it a day. It's
Yeah.
like we're doing these creative new, ideas for customization, and now the goofy stuff we just talked about, which is the not your perks, your what do they call them? Faults.
Traits.
Faults.
Yeah.
Faults.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they
Yeah.
call them. Faults.
Flaws.
Flaws. Thank
There you go.
Yeah.
Close.
I knew there was an F in there.
Yeah.
They did talk about one example of like just the some of the dynamic situations, which is the bridge.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like there are all of these different ways that you could find across the bridge.
So
where it's
great.
Like,
IDOS Montreal is helping develop this as well.
no, that's Grounded.
Wasn't it? Grounded too.
They're
That's right.
working
With
on-
Obsidian.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
such
yeah.
a cool partnership.
But yeah, so like you can do your little stealth thing. You can go in guns blazing. You can use some gadgets, but like one of the things you could sacrifice one of your companions and
So
like
insane.
turn them in. And it's like, yeah, that guy's not in the game now. Just don't worry about him.
insane.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah, I love that stuff.
The first one is a shorty, which is one of the reasons I loved it. You know, I got through that game in like less than 20 hours. All killer, no filler for me. I keep bringing up the price, $80. Do we think because it's $80 and it's a sequel that we are going to drop the short length in favor of a big epic now?
I don't think it'll be like Skyrim or something like that. But yeah, I'm guessing it'll probably be 25% longer, something like some of that area. Yeah.
Or because of how much variation they were talking about, that
Replay.
replayability,
Yeah.
that they want, like if it's short enough, you want to come back and see, like, all right, well, let me re-roll this time, or something like that. Also, they kept talking about, like, you already said you could, like, betray one of your companions, but they talked about all the different companions you could come across. And, like, it seemed like almost all of them may be, like, optional, but, like, whether you, like, work with them or just ignore them. But they said, like, warned you, like, if you just like screw over everyone, you might see something really bad happen by the
Yeah.
end. Like it will actually will come back to like bite you in the ass. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's them saying it, how big of a change that really makes. But obviously, like maybe it's really hard to, max out everyone,
Yeah,
like your
that-
quote unquote your relationship or your playthrough with them. So it's like next time I want to focus on these side characters and see where that takes me.
Yeah.
One of the things I really loved about the first one though was those interactions with your crew
So fun.
and just having them like on your ship, kind of Mass
loved
Effect
it.
style, just like go back to the ship and just
I
check
really
in with
love it.
everybody. Yeah,
I love that game. I really, really love it.
yeah.
Third person perspective as well.
Damiani.
The rise of third person. I feel like
Okay.
just like being able to swap now is apparently becoming the new normal in
This
games.
it makes me very happy that that's becoming a thing.
Yeah.
One thing that is some slight discourse that has arisen in the wake of this, flexibility is where it's obvious that some games were not especially parts of certain games were not designed around being in third person, and so there's hope that developers, when they are doing stuff like this, they're keeping that in mind, and so that it still feels good to play, whether you're in first or third. Not that, this was clearly meant to be played in first. When you're in third, like, something's off, or
Yeah.
it just feels like a mod that was just like added on a PC version that like wasn't really given any real thought, I guess. So bit of like, caution there, but like also it needs to start at some point. So it's like it's
Yeah.
okay to tread these rough waters for a bit while developers get used to having to, develop
'Cause
around giving you that option.
The Bethesda games too just felt so much better in first person.
Yeah,
Fallout
no, for
and
sure.
Stuff. So, but yeah,
And
Awesome.
Lots of wacky weapons.
the Shrink Ray.
Shrink Ray's
Oh,
back.
there we
So
go.
sick. Made me think of Duke Nukem, of course. Truly one of my favorite weapons in video game history, the shrink ray, because you would just shrink them and then go up and step on them. So cool. This looks even cooler, obviously, because Duke Nukem came out like 30 years ago. So this, though, shrinking them and then like hitting them with a bat and watching them go fly. So cool. Yeah, wow. It looks really, really, really impressive. So shout out.
Yeah.
And then they showed Grounded 2, of course.
Yeah, which I missed a lot of because I had to pop over to Xbox.
Yeah, and this, of course, partnered with Eidos Montreal.
Yeah, so and that's
cool.
actually that's the funny thing they're talking about. You know, it's like holy crap, we're releasing 3 games in the same year, but it's partly because Eidos is just going faster than they expected. They're just a machine up there.
Hell yeah.
So helping them crank this thing out.
Let's Obsidian, maybe they'll help them crank out Deus Ex or something.
Yeah, that's up to Embracer.
Yep.
So, but
Unfortunately.
yeah, I mean, it's nice to see those guys, get their hands on something. And, and Grounded was a game that, it was made with a very small team.
Now it's a franchise, dude. I'm waiting
yeah.
for the Grounded freaking anime or cartoon or whatever.
Caught on,
Animated
blew up
show.
big.
A Grounded animated show would be sick. Let's make that happen.
No, they're doing that. Didn't you hear? It got. I don't know about.
I'm not even kidding.
I don't know about animated.
That's so funny.
I think it's a movie or something. But yeah, there's somebody that got the film.
Can't even
TV
keep
rights.
track of all these adaptations, blood. It's out of control.
But that's what's so funny is because it's like, okay, well, this is very clearly made based on a movie that's very large. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah.
And now we're going to make a movie out of this? So like, okay.
That's like when they put out the Queen's Gambit board game.
Right.
And we're all like,
It's chess. So funny. I like the new environment, of course. We're not in
Yeah.
the backyard anymore. We're in the park.
The ice cream cart. They talked
so
about that.
cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Just being able to like get in there and explore like it's some avalanche or something.
Yeah. And I just love, too, narratively that, the kids have already dealt with this before. So now they're coming in experienced.
Yeah, they said a couple years later. I don't know how many years exactly, but
in the 90s. So we'll get some 90s vibes.
you got to think about that though. Like, what in the world has freaking happened with them? Like, they went
Yeah.
through this experience. They probably become famous to some degree.
Yeah.
And then, somehow it happens again.
Super cool. And that was it. But that was the Xbox showcase.
I'm very curious what they do in terms of streamlining and focusing and all of that stuff, because there were definitely times with that game where I felt like it was hard for us to get coordinated long enough to like get through that campaign.
Definitely.
It always felt like somebody would have to be off on their own doing their, working at night while everybody else was doing other things.
Totally. Just survival games in general,
Yeah.
getting that focus to actually progress rather than aimlessly building and crafting and looting and exploring. Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Valheim. Then we had the beautiful, lovable PC gaming show.
They were putting together a rig the whole time.
So sad I missed it this year. Went back and watched pretty much most of it in a little higher speed, but I was getting the vibes.
Nice.
They showed a ton of games. It was like
Of
2.5 hours.
It was long.
Just an
Totally
absolute onslaught. Shout out to Den of Wolves too. They had a big chunk of Den of Wolves.
Yeah, they did.
And Den of Wolves, one of the Den of Wolves crew was a patron, or was at the meetup. I remember.
yeah, in Germany.
Yeah, there were a couple of guys that
So-
wanted to talk to me specifically when I was there. Yeah,
Shout out.
because I met with them at GDC.
Yeah, and I'm a big payday and just general heist enthusiast, so I'm intrigued for Den of Wolves. But one of the big ones, and we actually got a date for it too, the Rogue Prince of Persia 1.0 in August. Finally, yes, I've been waiting patiently, super patiently. Haven't even touched this game.
Oh, okay.
Been waiting for the full release,
Did you
Damiani.
play some of it?
Yeah, for I think
Like
a
right
year
when it
ago.
launched, yeah.
When it hit early access.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like right when it dropped.
yeah, they got rid of the purple filter.
So pumped.
I do
I'm
think
so
it looks
pumped.
better for that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it looks like way more stuff's going on in there
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
And then, of course, shout out to Prince of Persia and the Lost Crowns. But we're getting another side-scrolling Prince of Persia This one looks so damn good, Damiani.
I'm just hoping if it's successful, it doesn't get shut down.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is
$25 game also.
This is Evil Empire, so that's the thing. Like Ubisoft is just like letting them essentially build the game.
They can't pull the plug.
I mean, they could pull the plug, but
Okay.
that's the thing. Is like it's not the same kind of investment. It's more like they came to Ubisoft and like, hey, can we make a Prince of Persia game? And they're like, sure.
I know. It sounds like they
yeah.
couldn't shut the studio down because it's not that way. But like, I'm still I don't know. It's Ubisoft. They might find a way.
Because luckily Evil Empire, like they did Dead Cells, and that is
the
widely considered and known as like one of the best roguelites. That game is incredible, so good, so sick.
Yeah, and kept getting updates. So that's the thing. Like I think it's what we saw.
Yeah.
Like the purple filter is a good example of like. They put it in the early access. They saw exactly what people were getting feedback on, and they're like, okay, no, we're going to change this, we're going to change that. And so I think by the time we play it, Damiani, it's going to be very different than what you saw.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I never played that Castlevania DLC for
Right?
Dead Cells, dude.
Oh,
Look at that.
jeez, yeah.
You get the Vampire Killer Whip, dude.
You need the main game for
Badass.
that DLC.
Yeah,
I actually looked
yeah.
it up because I was kind of curious to try it, but I was like,
Dude, Dead Cells is
I know
so
it is.
sick. But yeah, really, really excited. So glad Prince of Persia is back in this format again. I was just saying we got Lost Crowns. Now we get this. So expectations are really high for this one for me. Like real high. Coming off of Dead Cells.
Definitely said before. I'm glad that this franchise is getting to keep going, and these are the right directions. It's just I'm rooting for this one to be successful.
Same.
But I mean, I felt like Lost Crown was successful enough, but I guess not. And that was a fantastic game.
We Lost Crown.
And we still have no idea about that Sands of Time remake.
Seriously, next time Lost Crown's on sale, everybody, like, pick it up. Pick it up. Get that sale.
Get it.
Dude, you can find it on the
Netflix
cheap.
revival.
Oh, awesome. And I like the roguelite style, so I'm even more hyped for this one. All right, then next was Engine Fall.
Yeah, this
heck
PC
is
gaming
this?
show. You might need a new bet about trains next year.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of train games.
Train.
Hard to keep them all
Coal
straight.
Train. Would that count as a train? I think it would.
I think that was paint.
Coal Train would count.
Sorry, it looked like the shot from Pirates 3 where what's-his-face is walking down the ship at the end when it's getting blown up. Gunfire's going on. It says cannon fire. I was like, yeah, okay, it looks a little familiar.
I'm down with the train
Cutler
heist, bud.
Beckett. That was
Yeah.
Lord Cutler Beckett.
I was a Norrington fan. Norrington was my favorite.
James Norrington.
But it's like, yeah, I think you're like trying
Whoa,
to
what?
take the
Snow-
train over from the conductor. Or
Is it like
whatever.
Snowpiercer? Is it like a living?
Oh.
We're living on the train.
Yeah, it's
And
like
then-
a whole big thing.
Okay.
Combines
Snowpiercer's cool.
high stakes PvP, survival, crafting, and long term progression. Start as a tailie, trapped in eternal servitude aboard a massive mega train, and fight to rise through the classes.
Lost.
Lost.
The tailies.
The tailies.
Yeah, take
tailies.
take the engine and
Lost?
become
Didn't
the
you watch
conductor.
Lost?
Twice. All the way
The other
through.
group. The other group.
tailies.
The other group. This
Oh, from the tail.
They call them the
That's
tailies.
right. They call them the tailies? Really?
Yeah, in the show.
I don't remember that. That's so weird. Cool.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like, yeah, you're like joining up with the other players to rise through the ranks of the train.
The
Sick.
ranks of the train. I'm like,
Hell yeah. Cool. I'm a sucker for a heist. So if you make anything remotely good in the heist genre, I'll probably be there.
And then it's like you can claim your own train, add carriages,
Yeah.
build a
You
Claim
community,
your own train.
Go your own train.
manage your passengers carefully, or risk an uprising of your own.
Dude, Snowpiercer for sure.
oh my
That's sick.
gosh.
So some
Raid
other-
rival trains, steal resources.
Sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Sounds ambitious.
Yeah.
Also saw a bunch of other games, blah, blah, blah. The
Eve
Altars.
Frontier, I'm curious about. I don't know what the hell it is.
Which one?
Eve Frontier.
Oh,
It's
the
like
new
a
Eve game.
spin-off
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Eve game, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Anyway.
I will say we were talking about this morning or last night, whatever. This PC gaming show for me had this weird cadence, and you'll see it from my highlights in the notes. But basically,
Weird
it's like
cadence, he says.
it was like there was a lot of things that I just feel like they're fine, but not super exciting. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. Like it was just like this
erratic.
It's kind of not erratic, but almost like a wave of each. It's like, okay, here's a wave of stuff that I'm not interested in, and then here's a wave of stuff that's like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So it kind of went back and forth, and then I don't know. It was a weird ending to me when we get there, because
We'll
it was
get
just
there.
like,
Yeah, it was
this
weird.
is just another game.
I
Like
heard
there was
Haber say
nothing
that.
like
For sure,
I
for
heard
sure.
there was
Haber-
not like a build up. There was not like
For
a
sure.
one big
Watching.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also saw The Altars in Moonlighter 2, which we've talked about.
Yeah. Check out the Altars preview. That's
Yes.
out tomorrow.
Dude, I'm really hyped on The Altars, blood. You got me
Tomorrow.
buzzing, dude. I'm ready.
Yeah, I need, now that Summer Game Fest is over, I need to get in that final game,
Yeah.
because people that were at the preview event have now beaten it multiple times,
Whoa. Multiple times.
and yeah, they're really hyping up where it goes in the
Dude,
Act 3. Yeah,
So pumped. Then we saw Batsu. Great name.
Batsu.
Great name.
yeah, this is gonna be group stream game right
Heck
here.
yeah.
So playing as a bunch of robots.
Looks insane, dude.
Bot robots.
Yeah,
I'm already yelling at Damiani for cheesing, dude. I'm already mad at you, bro.
all these different game types and stuff in there. So
What the?
So there's a demo as well.
yeah, that's right. They put out a demo.
Yeah. And just
Oh,
another, like
hub.
Fall Guys, where it's, physics-based
Yeah.
competitive mini games. So looks like a jolly.
Everyone
Frustrating.
jumping in.
What's going on
Like,
with
there's
the
another train.
train?
What I tell
Yeah.
you is trains, box ball.
Looks great.
Yeah.
Could be an absolute winner.
Sumo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Oh,
think-
no.
Yeah, you're trying to push each other off.
Do we know how many
Yeah.
players
Landmines.
per thingamajig?
Yeah. Let me look up. I didn't get to that
Grapple
one.
hooks. Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
And I like that there's team ones.
Batsu.
That was always really fun in Fall Guys, how you'd be up by yourself for some, and then it would go to like, oh, you're on a team now. I really love that.
They put the meme.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, we got another solo developer on this one.
Batsu is a solo dev? Holy moly.
Sumo, box ball, and stock power are the game modes he talked about, but I don't see. I guess I'd have to go to Steam page to see how many players.
Yeah. Crazy.
Shared split screen co-op,
Ooh, love
online
that.
co-op,
Split
online
screen.
PvP, single player somehow. I don't see a number.
Yeah.
But
A lot of the
anyways, yeah.
visuals show like a handful of people. So
Yeah, it definitely looks like more than 4. Cool. So maybe a 4v4. There it is. Update players, 4v4.
sick. Cool. Looks great. We're gonna stream it, no doubt. Yeah. Some other stuff. We saw Man Drake.
Does this look like a CDI Zelda game?
Gorgeous.
Yeah, no, this
this
was
looks- okay.
a really pretty one.
Sorry, the still image, just for a second. But it
Yeah,
looks
I-
way,
you are
way,
so
way,
cool.
way better.
Yeah, I played Sunless Seas quite a bit. Pretty
Yeah.
challenging, dark little sort of survival thing. I'm not super interested in farming games.
Farming?
Yeah, the
Right.
farming is always a tough sell, Isla.
Horrifying feature.
For me, it's like I was so obsessed with Animal Crossing during COVID when that was all we had. And I think that honestly burned me out on farming games.
Yeah, you're still on cooldown.
My cooldown is still going.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to say it's, burned me out forever, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could
What about, like,
feel my
Pentiment?
time sucking away when
Yeah.
I played farming.
It definitely has, like, looking at the descriptions of stuff, it
Pentiment
definitely has a
visuals.
little bit of that,
Little.
how, like, Grave Seasons has a twist to it, because, like, apparently, like, horticulture is forbidden, and, like, once you get past, like, some of the basics, like, you start growing, like, really weird things, like a thing that can call down thunder,
Oh.
a thing that can, like, water the gardens for you, a goose tree.
Goose tree.
And then, of course, like, yeah, the Animal Crossing type stuff where you can just decorate the house in the town and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it seems like there's a lot of freaky stuff in there and
That's
out
cool.
there.
I love the vibe.
Yeah.
Again, like Isla said, farming, kind of a tough sell for me, but
Chad says it's not really a farming game, so I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. It looks cool.
That looks like farming to
Slashing
me right
bushes.
here.
Yeah, I'm seeing some farming here. You know, anytime you open your inventory and you see like you see a stack of 84 on one thing and like like here it comes, 69, 35, like just all that.
So when you see your Souls menu, it doesn't freak you out?
It always does. Any game it freaks me out for sure. I just want to see like 8 shotgun shells. That's all I want to see. You know.
Yeah. So here,
med kit.
This kind of talks here too about like how they kind of interplay. So, grow a cherry tree from seedling to maturity in 7 days. Then fashion your sorcerer's staff from its wood. Befriend a river. Eavesdrop on the dead.
That sounds awesome. So the forest is like a living, breathing character in this game.
Yeah, it says,
I really
drink
appreciate
tea
that.
with the god who lives in your chimney.
I really appreciate that. That sounds awesome.
God, it lives in your chimney.
They seem delightful as well. Cool. Then we saw not trains, but another school.
Demon School.
Demon School. A lot of schools going around.
Yeah, Brandon Sheffield been working on this for a minute. So it's getting there. It's getting closer.
Another beautiful looking game.
Yeah.
They all look so pretty. Like such a cool art style.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that really stuck out with this trailer in particular is just the variety of everything.
Yeah.
We were talking about this earlier too. It's just the demos haven't like gotten to like make it click. That's the thing, and then I don't know if it's just because like there's a limited amount of time that you actually get invested in these characters or what it is. So it's like I'm rooting for this game, but I'm just like not sure yet.
What about you, Isla? Where you at here? Demon School.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really cool. Sophia played it, and she kind of felt similarly to Blood, where it's like, it seems awesome, but doesn't click for some reason. Kinda
like it's
what
a bunch of separate things that don't really meld together well.
Yeah, I'm hoping, because like definitely some games just like don't demo, like you can't demo them.
Yeah.
Because it's like you don't really get the sense of the whole from a vertical slice. And I'm thinking that this might just be one of those. Because everything about it looks great. And like I've been looking forward to it for a long time.
For sure.
So I really don't know.
And it's coming out in summer. So that's relatively right around the corner. So we will know and we will see. Yeah, and I love the art style and the minigames look cool. And I love a good tactical turn-based combat. Then it was The Last Caretaker.
Yeah, this has got some kind of like Wall-E meets the Matrix vibes.
Wall-E meets the Matrix.
So like, so the Earth is uninhabitable, but because people are in space, they can't have children, and so you're this robot that's like getting like genetically modified children, like growing embryos on Earth and then shooting them up into space when they're old enough to work or something like that.
Oh dear.
So you're just going around the base, like taking care of all the machinery and stuff, and then blasting kids off to space.
Crazy.
to work? Is this like the real future?
Is this a documentary?
Yeah, they just sent the footage back to us. Yeah, that's why it looks so good.
It's a warning.
Looks crazy. Sounds crazy.
Yeah.
And is it multiplayer, Bloodworth?
I don't know. I
solo
think this is a single player narrative game as far as I know, but crafting, upgrading, enemies in the darkness.
I love enemies in the darkness.
The last human seeds. Monitor and optimize the growth of humanity's final survivors, balancing nutrients and enriching them with memories. Oh, so you actually infuse memories into them too. Crazy. But it is coming to early access.
There you go.
So
hop on in if you're curious.
Be interesting.
Yeah. Kind of a little bit of the Fallout humor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going for that.
I appreciate
it's like a freak show, but it's a cute freak show.
A cute freak show. You know Easy Allies loves that. Cute freak shows. Then we saw Blood. You weren't kidding. Another train game.
The trains.
The year of the train.
This is the one where I was like,
Railborn.
You guessed it like right as it was happening.
I think right before this trailer happened, I was like, "What? Has there ever been a train game where it's like a cozy train game where you build a train and you live on the train, but because it's kind of scary outside at night, but it's like safe inside your train?" And then this trailer happened.
That is hilarious.
And I was like, "Oh, I guess this."
That's so funny.
This is from the Parkosaurus devs, if you remember that. Yeah. And but yeah, like you like literally like build up your train and customize it however you want.
Wow.
Get like farms and stuff on it and everything.
Yeah.
It honestly seems kind of cool.
It seems cozy.
Can co-op it with 4 players.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
a
that's
game changer.
nice.
Yeah, that's fun.
Valtrain.
Valtrain.
What a toes.
Yeah.
Trainheim.
Farming every game.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Maybe you can ignore the farming parts.
Beyond the safety of your train lies a hostile, dying world where every step is a battle against suffocation,
Documentary.
starvation, and the planet itself.
No,
Yeah, and it sounds like this thing with like following where the tracks go is kind of, you know, navigating that is kind of a big part of it.
Wild.
Figuring out like where you want to go and what resources could be there or dangers or whatever.
I am hoping, I don't know, maybe you have the answer, Blood. I'm hoping we're trying to get somewhere. Like, get the train to one end of the country or something kind of thing.
It does seem like, okay, so here it says, explore abandoned colonist outposts and mysterious alien monoliths.
There you go.
To uncover the truth behind a planet consumed by endless tracks.
Jeez. I love it.
Jeez, so serious.
Game developers are crazy, and we love you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Railborn. Then it was Voyagers of Nira.
Oh, yeah. We got to get Don take on this.
Don!
This is some Don bait over here.
Don, we love Don bait.
We got some good sailing in this, Huber.
Yeah.
So we got little skiffs. We got surfboards.
Damn.
Like,
Love it. I've been playing
we
Dave the
got
Diver on the
underwater,
side.
too.
A lot of Dave the Diver. So I'm feeling the underwater.
But yeah, look at those boats. Look at the sea serpents.
Yeah. What does Don think? Does
He has no thoughts on this.
no
Why do
thoughts,
you-
no opinions?
He says it looks beautiful. Lapras.
Yeah, see the surfboards, though?
Oh, now he remembers his
Okay,
line.
now he's
Are you
in.
coming? Are you speaking?
Oh,
Do you
underwater.
choose to speak?
It's like
The people want to hear from Don.
But you see, Don, you can go on foot from the beginning.
All the traversal stuff in this looks amazing.
Wind Waker, we can go underwater.
I don't know about what was happening with the battling and stuff
crafting.
like this, but you know.
So you want
the world looks beautiful. The water looked beautiful. Oh man, a
Yeah.
little hang glider.
What's the cool game you were playing?
A loft. A little bit of like.
Oh,
a loft.
okay,
Yeah.
A loft with water.
Yeah.
Like a loft with water. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
giant
The water
hand.
looks great. A float. That's a good idea.
And what was the other
You can sail with up to 10 people.
What was the tailspin one, Don?
Oh,
Oh.
Luz Lagoon.
Yeah.
Lose Lagoon. I'm hyped on Lose Lagoon.
Yes.
So hyped on
So
that.
pumped for that.
Yeah. 10
they-
players is nice. That's great.
They have a demo, too, now.
Great. Early access also coming August 5th, everybody. So very cool. Saw some other stuff. And the other one that we want to talk about is Dark Switch.
Yeah. Oh,
Dark
yeah.
Switch.
Don was not happy with this one because the fog is threatening.
Uh-oh.
You have to avoid the fog.
Avoid the... Well, we like
Yeah, he
scary
says they're
fog.
giving a bad name to fog.
It all started with John Carpenter, the fog hater.
Yo, the fog's a cozy movie.
Yeah, it is. Johnny Carp, Zyla.
But yeah,
Johnny
so,
Carbs, dude.
yeah, so like kind of city builder, I think, going on, but like in this giant tree, because you can't be on the ground when the fog rolls.
Oh yeah,
in.
this one I like. I thought the tree aspect was nice. I love tree houses.
Same,
And
yeah.
villages in trees.
So cool.
Yeah, it definitely says it's city building.
Oh, it's so pretty. So cozy.
Warping their minds and consuming everything, Don.
Whoa.
This is some bad fog.
Yikes. Looks like you get higher up. Hurry.
Naughty fog.
Oh no. The madness of this.
Crazy.
But
yeah,
yeah,
kind of Frostpunk vibes for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah. I see that. Wild. Looks good.
Oh, cool.
bunch of other games. They came out and they talked about 007 a bunch. It was like a dev diary, really hyping up the action. I
think that's when Isla started losing it. Is that you guys went fully unhinged at some
Something made
point?
me start laughing, and I don't remember what or why. I just cracked up. I don't remember why.
Yeah. Okay. Well, 007. I just need to see.
Yeah.
I need to play it. I need to see. I need to see a level. Just a level. Nobody talking. No edits. Just show me a level.
One thing that they did mention in there though is like the difference between Hitman and Bond.
Of course.
Is in Hitman, like you're always trying to
avoid things.
Be incognito.
Of course.
You're always trying to wear a disguise. And Bond is a character. He's going in the front door. He is using his charm and his wits.
Definitely. Hiding in plain sight,
so
if you
it'll be
will,
interesting to
until
see
hell
if
breaks
like
loose.
what gameplay mechanics can come out of that.
Definitely.
Because they're so creative with Hitman.
Yeah.
So how do you
Pure
do that
creativity.
as a player?
Yeah.
And not just like a cool dude on screen.
Totally. And it looks like they're really hyping up the cars and the gadgets, which is important as well for the Bond franchise. So,
yeah,
I'm optimistic. I'm really optimistic. And just the idea of like a video game Bond universe sounds really fun. Like, we live in an era now where we can have spin-offs and shows or, standalone separate games that are in the universe. And the fact that it's Bond's origin, obviously we've gone through that in the movies a bunch, but, building this narrative from level 1 and then seeing where it goes is exciting.
Right.
So
the only thing I don't like is I feel like you could see a hint of it in there, and it might not be that bad when we get there to the actual game and see it in context. But I feel like we're going to have like this early thing for the sake of character growth where we just don't like him. Where he's just going to be some annoying like youngster, right?
Yeah. Bond, why are you being rude?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. He'll come around though.
That's why I love the Daniel Craig Bond so much, is that like
Eva Green.
He knows he's a bad man. Like he knows he's a misogynist and a killer and like a brute. And he like hates himself, but he just keeps doing it. Like I love it.
A brute is
like he doesn't feel worthy of love. He like tries it and then he turns on it after Casino Royale. Like
10 out of 10.
I love Daniel Craig.
Same. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Casino Royale, easy 10.
Yeah,
easy.
My favorite Bond film.
Yeah, that and GoldenEye for me are my faves.
For sure.
10. Quick shout out to Pigface. That actually looked sick. Dark, low poly FPS. Early access coming in August. But there is a demo.
Yep.
Check out Pigface.
Yeah, a lot of those demos you got to jump on right now.
Yeah.
Next Fest is like limited time.
Yeah. Paralives.
Isla, tell us about this.
Yeah, so this one Sophia's jazzed as hell about. It's like the Hold My Beer Sims thing.
Cool.
Where they were like, EA is not going to do a good Sims, so we're going to try to do one.
Yeah, I can't believe we're still on Sims 4, right? Still?
Yeah,
Good grief.
because EA has gone completely insane.
Yeah, DLC forever.
But yeah, this is one of the ones that was happening. And I mean, I don't
This
fully,
looks cozy.
I don't fully know the details, but yeah, this one people were excited about. And then I thought like, I don't know if it like went away for a second or I don't know.
No, there was
but now
another
it's
game,
come
and
back.
since you said that, I cannot remember.
There was another one, one that like came into being and then went away.
Yeah, it was like canned really quickly.
Wow.
And then Inozoi or whatever
Inozoi
is just AI slop.
Some bizarre
Life
reason
by
is
You.
gigantic.
Life by You
Life
got
by You is the one.
canceled.
Isla, this looks so good, and I love that the art style differentiates from The Sims as well. It's doing its own visual style.
It's got like a kind of a, and I mean, they know their fan base, so they threw a little gays in there.
The kids are not kids though. There's some
No, it
freak-
looked like a
there's
small
some
adult.
freakies
That
going
was
on.
weird.
That's
Is
some
that why they had
Spider
the
Punk
babies
kid.
like looking away earlier? Oh no!
Yeah. It's a shrunken
horrifying.
adult.
Yeah, that looked uncanny. That was weird.
So Life by You was the one that was ex-Sims
That
devs,
is.
but it
That's the
died.
one.
And then this one is the other
Is
one.
that our first December game?
I hope it's good. I hope this one is
Yeah.
good and not somehow secretly evil.
Early
Like
access.
Some games seem to be something nowadays.
Let's hope not. Early access December 8th says to me that 1.0 for this game is like 2027 or the end of 2026.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'm saying. That's
which
my
one?
theory. For Paralives.
Oh, I don't know. Did it say early access?
Early
December 8th?
access December 8th. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's still a bit of a ways off, but
Yeah, but for a game like this, like
hop into early access.
well, and also it could be like The Sims 4. The way it works is they just keep adding more and more content, overpriced
True. Yeah.
expansion content,
Exactly.
forever.
Yeah.
And so like this game could be in quote unquote early access forever,
Yeah.
like Fortnite,
Yeah,
and
that's
just
what I was
be a
thinking. is-
game that's just growing and growing, and then eventually they just say 1.0, but it's like not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks
Who
great.
knows?
I'm intrigued on this now.
They got
This
blueberry
girl
muffins
crying
in
on
there,
the floor
though.
looks like my
Yeah.
sister.
Oh. I want to see the tiny adult before we move on. It's coming.
Okay, tiny adult incoming after these lesbians. Here we go.
Yeah.
Little tiny adult Kyle Bossman,
It does. It looks. Yeah.
shrunken down,
Some
making
other
my sister cry.
some other games. Lost Rift from People Can Fly, island survival game. I like People Can Fly, and Hell Clock was a roguelike weird one as well. And then we got to another like infinitesimals type name where I don't know how to say it.
Infinitesimals.
Militioner.
one.
Militioner. This game is some Cronenberg style in the sense that it's freaking me out to look at.
Right?
Like this game is making me uncomfortable.
It's like just some giant just sitting there constantly
Yeah.
looking at you.
It's scary. It's seriously scary. I don't know. Something about this game is freaking me the hell
Wait.
out.
Yeah. Just comes down, just starts poking your house.
Yeah.
And falls apart. Like, he felt tired. Like,
So
what in the world
weird.
is this game?
Seriously, what is it?
Oh, and then, like, you see, like, the ridges in his fingertips.
So intense.
Like, what is this guy? Oh, man, there's...
Beg for forgiveness.
There's freakier stuff on the
Dude,
Steam
it's
page.
so
Yeah.
freaky.
Look at this. Ah!
Dude, if he swallows you, I'm hard out. Like, get me out of this game, dude. Yeah. Striking. Very striking. Another one of those games, like we've been saying all week, of like,
What? Is this
how
like a
do you even
stealth
come
game?
up with this, game devs? How do you come up with these ideas?
You're an ordinary no one who hasn't done anything noteworthy, let alone a crime. Must be a mistake, yet this morning you were arrested.
Yeah, there's some commentary, obviously, for
Pack
sure.
your stuff and leave as fast as possible, but be wary. Every move you make is being followed by a giant policeman.
Yeah, Big Brother is watching
interesting.
vibes, for
Okay.
sure.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like it's a police state metaphor.
Yeah, no doubt. And yeah, it looks so creative and also makes me uncomfortable. Which they're probably going for. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy one. Absolutely crazy. Bunch of other stuff in there as well. Ultra Kill. Shout out to Ultra Kill. FBC Firebreak coming out imminently, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Baby Steps Bloodworth. You love it.
Yeah. Yeah, we just talked
Yeah.
about that, so I didn't think we needed
Yep.
And
And
they just showed it like another cutscene
yeah,
kind of thing.
and
yeah.
the Dark Tide class as well. I got to play that hands-on, so check that out. And then we saw Berserk or Die.
This freak show, this is out now.
Yes.
Die.
Get a cheap keyboard, everybody, because you
Yeah.
just bang on the keys.
My keyboard
Wait.
is busted. So
You just face
perfect.
roll?
This is perfect for me. I have to bang on my keyboard anyway.
What the?
Yeah, doesn't it look insane?
Like,
How do you come up with this stuff?
how do you play this? I don't understand.
It looks again. It just
wild.
looks so unique and creative. The visual style is kind of pixel art, but
But
With
there's-
like
it's kind of like
techno
a silhouette
energy.
with like a side light on it.
yeah. Looks awesome, Bloodworth. And it's out now. It's
But it-
out now.
But it's
It's
just,
out now.
it's just constant chaos because there's
my
all
gosh,
these physics
poor
objects
keyboard.
flying everywhere. Like you go through like a group of guys and all their spears go flying.
By the way, everybody,
Wait.
Yeah, Punkel's putting it out. The Vampire Survivor
Yeah.
guys. It's $4.
Yeah, by the way, right
Here
now,
we go.
no,
$4.
actually, Blood, it's on sale.
Oh, it's on sale. I'm sorry.
$3.59. Yeah,
It began.
$3.59.
What DLC packs are they getting?
Get wrecked, $80 games. I'm gonna have fun for $4, dude.
Just shake the mouse.
They
and
probably
just
know
spin
about
attack.
what you said. Like you're gonna need a few keyboards for this.
Enemies approach from both sides. Rally
We
the
should
last.
stream this.
Yeah, it looks fucking awesome. One final push to victory. Face danger head on. The game's most distinctive feature is the keyboard banging controls, which make the battles all the more thrilling. The more buttons pressed, the wider the attack range.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Button mash of
That
paradise.
is awesome.
Continue attacking to unleash a powerful attack to eliminate a large number of enemies in one fell swing. Charge your special bar to show your full might on an even grander display of power. Looks so cool. A lone peddler will sell you wares at the end of each survived day. Heal your wounds, buy upgrades, and purchase rarities to continue the fight. Choose your fighter, multiple characters. You fight through the ages too. Swords, katanas, great axes, staves, and more.
Yeah.
Looks awesome, dude. Looks so awesome. $4 right now. Play it. Berserker die. Absolute win. Then we saw Blippo Plus.
Yeah, so I actually.
Oh, it's on your device.
Yeah, look, I brought mine in.
I
Yeah.
love
To
your
show you
little
this
device.
right now. I
What is it called
brought it.
again? What is it called again?
Playdate.
It's called my little device.
It's your Isla, your little device is the best. Every time I touch and play that thing, I just have a good time. It's a blast.
Aw.
Yeah.
I wish it didn't hurt my eyes so much, but
Yeah, I've played a lot. When I played it a lot of time, I've hooked it up to the PC so I can actually see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
so
Playdate's
yeah,
awesome.
This is Blippo TV. I don't know if you can hear it. So it's an alien television signal, I guess, that is being intercepted. This one is called tantric computing, so it's like scrambled.
Whoa.
But then when you sometimes see it, it's like sex stuff, but just people like using computer parts. Let me.
I gotta bite the bullet and buy a Playdate. I love it.
But no, this is the thing. It's coming to other platforms.
Unexpected price.
This is wild.
Oh, hey, I got a price hike.
Crazy. Tell us about it.
Well, Isla does that. So this is currently on season 2 for Playdate because you can like basically subscribe and then you get what you get. You don't. It's like meant to be surprises.
This is like running in the woods in first person. With a knife and an axe, Huber.
Awesome.
So this is a weekly broadcast right now, Huber.
Yeah.
So you have to tune in every week, like a show?
It adds more stuff
Yeah, it adds
every
more.
week.
That
Because
is
right now during
fun.
season 2, they're adding games every week.
Wow.
So you get 2 new games every week and like 2 hours of Blippo Plus content.
That rules.
Yeah, so they say soaps, sitcoms, news, weather, talk shows, all made with vintage analog broadcast equipment.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's funny.
100 actors. And then, let's see, what else is going on? Yeah, you can mess around with the TV menus. But yeah, play the trailer too, because the thing is so right now it's the 1-bit Playdate screen.
1 bit.
But this is coming to
Jeez.
Steam and Switch in like full color and everything.
Blippo is.
Yeah, Blippo
That's
Plus.
Cool. That's cool.
I'm trying to see what else. Oh yeah, right now it's entirely new slate of video replacing itself every Thursday at 10 a.m. for 11 weeks.
That's so fun.
Like I would love to get involved in this kind of shit. This is so
Yeah.
weird. I love it.
Reach out, Isla.
I know. I'm
Reach
like,
out.
I want to do this kind of stuff.
JJ Stratford is the cinematographer
JJ Stratford.
in Glendale.
Awesome. Hey, local.
Yo, wait, they're in Glendale?
Yo.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure
Email
they're
'em.
already done with this season, but like, damn it.
Time to send him an email. They'd be lucky to have you.
Thanks.
All right, next up is Morbid Metal. Another early access hit coming August 20th. Character action game, Damiani. You in? You love him.
I gotta see it.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's roll this for Damiani.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good.
Damiani's take. Character action. We saw some Devil May Cry ranking system
Oh,
going
we saw.
on there.
Yeah, we did see this.
Smoking sexy style,
This
Damiani.
is at Xbox, right, or something.
It wasn't at Xbox, no. I don't know when they last shown it.
This
but-
was at SGF then,
Well,
or the like Keeley show.
oh,
This was 100% Keeley's show then, because I've seen this 100% see this.
I don't think so. I
Well,
think the
you're
last
seeing
time
it
we
right now,
Well, yeah, you're
regardless.
seeing
Yeah.
it now.
Yeah.
Here it is. What do you think?
I saw a trailer for it. Intriguing.
Swap characters mid combo.
Oh, that's always good to have like stuff like that where you can swap weapons but like swap characters.
Yeah.
like that's that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how many like character actions really do that.
Yeah.
like they have like stances and stuff that you can do, or sorry, styles, weapon changes, but changing characters. I imagine it functions like the same way, but visually probably like looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Way flashier. And these games are always trying to one up each other with doing the flashy shit, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you go into a run, you pick up to 4 characters, it says.
I love any game where you go on runs.
And,
Any game.
And I guess, yeah, because the abilities and stuff change, so that's, you're kind of like learning new combat skills every time.
Yeah. Looks pretty sweet, honestly. I'm into it. There's a demo out as well, so you can play.
Yep.
Morbid Metal. Early access coming in August.
That's where I saw it, on the Steam Next Fest demo page.
Oh, okay. There you go.
There we go.
I was like,
Yeah.
I know I saw
this was not
before.
in anything. Yeah.
Now I was like,
there.
now I know. As soon as you said that, I was like, that's where it was.
We got there.
got it.
Then we also saw Love Eternal.
Oh yeah, this we got back to the next freak show.
Love Eternal. Was this the
So
one?
it's got this like really Isbrit's working on this too. So like the side scrolling bits like very simple, but then you have these very detailed like story sections.
Yeah.
That looks kind of like
That reflection in the window is so cool.
yeah. It looks kind of like a 90s PC game, but yeah, see like the
Some Celeste action.
platforming stuff.
Yeah.
It's not that detailed at all. It looks almost like Shotgun Man or something.
Yeah.
So that's interesting juxtaposition between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then you like see how detailed she is compared to the stuff in
Yeah.
the background.
I love how Celeste is just this hardcore platformer, but with a really emotional narrative. And this looks kind of like that.
Right.
Just like making the platforming tie into the narrative in a way.
Yeah. This looks intense.
Looks really intense. Cool. And I love gravity swapping in platformers. It's really cool.
Always challenging.
Yeah,
Definitely
tricky
good.
for
good,
sure.
Yeah,
good
when you're
trick to
swapping
go
gravity
to.
rather
Yep.
than just jumping.
Yeah,
Yep,
like
yep,
V,
yep.
V, 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 V.
And that's coming out.
That's
at the
what I
end
was
of the year.
thinking of. Yep. That's what it reminded me of.
Very
Yeah.
awesome. Cool. We didn't highlight this, but I actually would like Dawn's take. I don't even know why, for Busbound. Busbound Dawn. It's about the public becoming bus drivers.
From the makers of Bus Simulator 21.
Yeah. Yo, I don't know what it was, but I'm in for this game. I am in for Busbound. Driving a bus, picking people up.
You called an audible on this.
Yeah, sorry. That was on me. That was on me. Dawn, do you have any opinions on this at all, or am I off base here?
It all depends on this kind of game for me. Like, I don't know what exactly is involved here. Just watching this
Real
trailer.
world
I mean,
licensed vehicles.
There's
Dom.
obviously the sim section of it, and
Yeah.
like, as long as the like mechanical sim part of it isn't too complex. Recently recounted when Isla and I tried to play that train sim game, and we couldn't get the friggin' train to leave the station for like the entire stream. It was extremely complex, too complex.
Go to train school.
Like this nice
You gotta be an
mixture
engineer.
of complexity.
They do say they're focusing on accessible driving.
Nice.
Yeah, so it looks
Yeah.
accessible enough, but I'm interested to see what other components are involved, because it
Yeah.
looked like there was a lot of stuff that was outside of the bus.
For sure.
Yeah,
Do
they
you
said
think you could drive a bus in real life? Like how well?
With a
do you
little
think
bit of
you could?
practice, for sure,
mean,
but it'd
I
be
think that'd
intense.
pretty good, actually.
yeah,
If you're
you
dropped into
need
a
some
speed
training.
situation, how well would you do?
I would feel good.
I'd feel confident.
I'd feel very confident driving a bus like this.
Yeah.
They say the city is fully simulated, densely inhabited, dynamic traffic, day and night, weather conditions.
It looks really cool to me.
I really like the idea of dynamic traffic. I mean, that's often when I'm driving in traffic on the way to work and stuff like that, I'll imagine it's a video game actually, and I try to do like pattern recognition.
Don, if you had to choose between these are real buses, it's real world buses that are in this game. If you had to choose, do you want either the New Flyer Excelsior 40-foot CNG or the Bluebird Sigma?
Ooh.
I think I've seen those buses out there. Those sound like recognizable brand names.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, Excelsior.
New Flyer right there on the.
It's real nice.
At game trailers one time for I don't remember the reason, had to capture Euro Truck Simulator 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of the most surprisingly fun things I had played. I had no idea that it would be so fun. So fun. So this just caught my eye. Unassuming bus driving game. I want to check it out.
4-player co-op somehow.
Yo!
Split up
Maybe
to
way
take
down
different
for
routes.
this. Huber, let's do it.
Yeah!
That's fun, actually.
It does sound
Look
fun.
at this dynamic weather. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just caught my eye. Thank you, Isla,
I
for
love this
bringing that up.
top-down. By the way, those top-down stuff where you look like you're somehow manipulating the bus routes. That
Yeah.
stuff I get some goosebumps on the back of my neck.
It
Very
reminded me
exciting.
of piping in The Sims. That's why I thought of you.
I
Yeah.
lit up when I saw that. for sure.
Awesome. Sick. Thank you both. Okay. Saw some more stuff. Saw Grave Seasons in this as well. And Isla and I and Sophia got to play a little bit of that. And then a little horror slot machine game. Clover Pit.
Say that slower.
Horror slot machine
Okay, thank you.
game.
Horror.
Horror. Horror.
That was like the time I went into a tire store and I was wearing a T-shirt that said horror on it.
horror.
And this man was like, "Hey, horror." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Your shirt." And I was like, "Oh."
I love horror and I love gambling.
You're locked in a rusty cell with a slot machine and an ATM.
It sounds so freaking awesome. I am in. There's a demo out now. Yeah. You know I love horror. Now I'm freaking out about it. And gambling.
Prostitute.
And I just love the visuals of it. It's also given me Inscription energy for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You in for this, Damiani?
I will watch you play.
Okay. Clover Pit.
Brutal.
Roguelike.
They got ahead of the Balatro problem. It's like, P.S. Is this gambling? No. Clover Pit is a roguelite horror game and not a slot machine simulator. Our slot machine is designed to be broken and ultimately overcome.
The best is
And we will never ask you for real money.
That's great. Also, the best description: gamble for your life in a never-ending debt simulator. Demo is out now on Steam with a 2025 planned release. Very excited about this. Bend the rules, break the game, and pay off your captor long enough to earn a shot at freedom. So, very intense. A gripping roguelite where every round could be your last. Meta progression. Multiple endings and unlockable power-ups. Push your score to new heights in endless mode. Hellish escape room atmosphere. 150 plus items and synergies to boost your luck. And a sinister tale of addiction and escape. Really hyped on it. Super in. Cool. Saw some more stuff in between. And then we're settling on Dead Reset.
Yeah, Wales interactive FMV game.
Yeah, FMV, you're hyped.
I mean, these are always like, a good time.
Yeah.
They're not always like,
Good.
the high. Yeah.
Hit or
I
miss.
was trying to be gentle. Some of these are good, and some of these are, mommy still loves them. But yeah, FMV game. But this one is like a time loop horror sci-fi kind of deal. which
It's
seems
an underwater
interesting.
facility, though, Isla.
Oh Christ!
Oh, jeez.
I doubt they have the budget to actually show it from the outside, though. So I think I'll be okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows? Looks cool. I like FMV games. So.
Yeah. Some Alien and maybe Thing
I'm trying to
vibes
get a job
even.
with these guys too.
I'm curious how many times blood-soaked interactive horror shows up on this Steam page.
For sure.
4.
September, coming up also.
All right, just in time for Halloween.
Exactly. They know what they're doing. They're smart about it.
3 times.
Oh, close.
And then to wrap up the show, again, you alluded to it at the beginning. No shade at Wonderbug because it looks awesome. Wonderberg because it looks freaking awesome. But it was the last of the show, and it did feel just like another one of the games, you know.
Yeah.
But it looks so fun. Mortal Engines vibes.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Swallowing up
Yeah,
the sheep
this-
is so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're basically controlling a castle on wheels. So very, very tankish, but also like each one of these things looks really different. Some of them
Yeah.
have legs instead of wheels, and lots of different weapons and things. And some of them are tall, some of them are wide, some of them have tons of arrows shooting out of them.
Yikes.
That one's got like a
That's
giant
insane.
like spike mouth on the bottom. Like yeah,
It looks beyond excellent. It looks so good.
Wow. Oh, I thought that you were going to go.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, how big can they get? Like,
Yeah.
is it going to be Katamari on us, where like it just, you know, as it scales, the world scales around it, you know?
That's what I'm curious about is like, yeah, the building and growing your castle seems crazy.
Yeah, this looks cool.
Minimalist open world roguelike in an ecosystem of castles on wheels. Consume, grow bigger, upgrade your modules, and survive. Unlock new
Consume.
weapons, build your castle, and discover the procedurally generated map.
I like that you can have legs sometimes. Yo,
You-
I saw Mortal Engines with my dad, and I always liked it.
Yeah.
The movie sucks, but I like it.
I know the book is good. You can request to join a playtest on Steam,
Okay, nice.
and the planned release date is 2026.
All right.
So a little bit of away. Control a castle on wheels that will eat everything in front of it. Expand your vehicle fortress with weapons and wizard towers, explosive mines. There's a survivors-like progression system. Upgrade your modules in a
Oh,
survivors.
okay.
Grow your castle bigger and bigger by defeating bosses.
Okay.
Yeah. So, seems cool. And multiple biomes as well. Experiment with different builds in every run, too. So, they want to encourage a little bit of that. Awesome. And there we go. That was it. SGF Wrap Up time.
Mm-hmm.
Feelings on the show overall. Anything you want to say about it? Where do we stand on the SGF festivities of 2025?
It feels like an in-between year plus. Like, it's not quite an in-between year,
Right.
because there's some good stuff that I'm really excited about, but generally I'm kind of just like, yeah, okay. Like, I'm not against, like, nothing, it wasn't bad, but nothing, like, blew my mind, really,
Right.
besides Resident Evil 9.
And
Yeah, I don't know if my mind was blown, but I did see like 20 games that I'm interested in, even more so. Like I feel like this year we might not have had the megaton bombs, but I think it was so consistent with the quality of games shown.
Yeah.
It feels like this year more than ever, I was just interested and can see myself playing a ton of the games shown. So.
Yeah, if you include State of Play, it's like,
I do.
yeah, which I also do. It's like, like overall median, like swimming in sevens, like vibes wise, with a few high highs,
Yeah.
but no real low lows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like in terms of the show floor and stuff, it's like there were definitely a lot of people missing. We didn't have Square Enix. We didn't have Ubisoft. We didn't have anything from EA. Activision only had like Tony Hawk out
Sure.
there.
I mean, Mafia wasn't even there, which
Right.
was surprising because that game's coming out in August.
right.
So,
Which I can't remember 2K being there in the past, but I could
Yeah.
be wrong.
I know they were at the PC gaming show. I think they did a little
Yeah, they did. They
interview, dev diary type.
Well,
thing.
maybe it was,
or maybe
I
not
don't-
the PC gaming
I
show.
don't think it's a PC gaming
but
show. I
they
think
did come out.
They just released it.
Yeah.
Or it was Future Game Show maybe.
Yeah,
Because I don't even know what happened in
Yeah.
the Future Game Show.
yeah. I know they just dropped like a tech trailer, dev diary type thing, but yeah, definitely some some missing ones for sure.
Yeah. But definitely had a good time. Mm-hmm. Definitely glad that Isla convinced me to change the schedule.
Yes, thank you for acquiescing to that.
It
Yeah.
was nice.
I wasn't like completely wrung out.
Yeah.
Like we were tired, but it wasn't as bad as last year.
Yeah.
But not only that, I took advantage of that time and went over, and spent some time with people. And there's a lot of things where like, because, Sunday night we still had Monday left. And so there are a lot of people that I had just met while I was out just chatting with people, and some people that I really didn't see too much elsewhere, like Ben Starr. But there were a lot of people there that I was talking to, just hanging out, where it's like, oh, let's follow up tomorrow. And then like I kind of had like a little to-do list when I went back to Summer Game Fest in the morning. It's like, okay, let me stop by their place and and catch up on some things that otherwise wouldn't have happened. And so that was really nice. And then even when I went back to the craziness after the last night and was hanging out with people, there's all kinds of stuff going on at the same time downtown. BET Awards just going on. Like, it was crazy. But I saw people then, too, that I hadn't seen the whole weekend. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Just in time to catch up with everybody.
yeah. But I mean, like I literally like to-do list of like follow-ups even
Nice.
after the show. So
Got it.
yeah.
It's so funny that BET Awards and SGF happen at the same time because I was doing work for BET Awards before we started doing SGF stuff and couldn't work BET Awards because of SGF. And I forgot. And then you were like, BT Awards was happening. I was like, oh, right. Like, I had to bail on them for SGF. Yeah.
I am really happy overall. I'm going to romanticize it a little bit because, when E3 shut down, devastation, absolute devastation. Like, what are we going to do? Are we going to even have a big marquee event to just celebrate games, And now, not only just having SGF, but then having the Xbox showcase, having the PlayStation Direct, having the PC Gamer Show, Day of the Devs, all these shows, it does feel like E3 in a sense. And I really appreciate that. I love that. I love just an entire week or in a week and a half of an absolute onslaught of game previews and demos coming out and announcements. So overall, I think I'm always just like a base level of happy. And we got to see Resident Evil Onimusha. So overall, I'm really happy.
I don't know if you guys got to take much advantage of it. I think I saw Damiani in there. One of the new things they did this year is they had like a media lounge, they had like a breakfast buffet and stuff.
Yeah.
And that was fantastic too. It's
Had a bagel?
like the food was kind of whatever, yeah, but it was like, but the fact that you get this like, it's like get in there before your day starts.
Fuel
again,
up.
find some people that you might otherwise not have time because everyone's running around doing appointments.
I don't have time to see or talk to anyone, but I'm like appointment.
It's because you want to see everything.
Yeah. So like, I don't
love
really
to face it.
linger
Yeah.
around too much is what I'm saying. I'm just
Yeah.
like all
I
business.
thought I had some time for you
Yeah.
to linger later, but yeah. Anyways, but it was good.
It was good.
Good to sit down and have some food with some people before the day starts.
Yeah. Shout out to Keeley actually with just like the venue itself. It's comfortable.
Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing. Like one of the other people, I got like I saw Kelsey around the whole weekend, but it wasn't until Monday night that we actually got. It was like, hey, I haven't met you in person before.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Damiani?
The food thing has made me laugh because the last day for breakfast, everyone was going because they have like a kind of like a buffet set up, and they have like pastries, muffins, like cereal stuff, like something like that, bagels. Sorry,
Oh, the bacon.
and then they have hot food, and each day they had potatoes, eggs,
I did
bacon.
see some flies landing on the wrapped sandwiches. The sandwiches were wrapped. I'm just calling it out. I saw some flies buzzing. Just saying.
They were wrapped. And then I forget something else at the end. It doesn't matter. Last day they had 2 things of potatoes, eggs, and then no bacon. every single person for like they said it was gonna take like 30 minutes, so I was there like early. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna sit and wait. Like, and someone else came, asked about bacon. Then like 20 more people over the next 30 minutes came up and go, like, just watching people's reactions to like lifting up each
Bacon.
no bacon. They're like, what? And then they bring it out, and it's like a tiny amount of bacon, and then like it was just like and it wasn't a stampede, but like it was a good amount of people were getting up for the bacon. I was
So
like,
funny, dude.
Oh, it was like just funny to see that.
That was funny.
It's interesting because you said you didn't have like much time. A lot of the feedback I heard from a lot of people and people I watched afterwards giving their impressions from their SGF time was that like in the past years, it's like nice to go there, have not the chaos of E3, have this downtime in between appointments where you could just go sit and have a quiet area to talk with somebody and either catch up with them, or if they're like, it's, you know, someone from the industry is there, you could like, you know, maybe do like a quiet interview with them, or just like, you know, talk with them about whatever you want to talk about. And they afford those opportunities, which is like really nice.
Yeah.
And it's very structured. It's very easy to walk. It's not very big. So you're not walking all over like the LA Convention Center or something similar if you've gone to other big conventions. So like that part of it, I think they have like really down nicely. It's just about, it does feel kind of like a rotating, like, you know, stable of developers each year who show up and showcase their games, and obviously that's out of their control what they're showing.
Yeah.
As for the week in general, like everything around it, I still am going to maintain my issue that I've had like since this has started, that it still feels a little chaotic. It still feels like while they're trying to be structured to it, there's just too much overlap in a lot of things. I get it. Not the public does not go to play days. They're not at it, so people want to take advantage of showing things, but it's also like makes it difficult on people trying to cover it, and also feels like everyone's just trying to get into that window. Like looking at how many showcases there were that we didn't even like watch. It's like
Yeah.
it gets
I
a
like
little.
it.
I mean, I
love
think
that.
it gets a little insane. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think it's out of hand. Honestly,
I don't miss the stuff that we didn't watch on Saturday.
Well,
I'm fine not sitting through all of that. You know, like maybe the future game
Yeah.
show would be all
We
right.
do
or-
always talk about how sometimes there's so many things they start to blend for
Yeah.
sure, but
there's basically like two things. I do miss the structure of when it was E3, and that like you were not allowed to like overlap. It was like you have like your press conference going here, no one else is going during that time. Like
Right.
it was kind of like, you know, Keeley wields a lot of power, but I don't think he wielded as much power as like the ESA had back in the day. So
Yeah.
it's like you will follow these rules, you will like go like this, and not really have overlap. The closest was always Nintendo doing like the morning before the show.
Yeah.
at
opened.
6 a.m.
But I
And
don't think it was even necessarily about rules. It was just kind of the way.
Well, it was etiquette, I would say. It wasn't like a written firm rule. It was just like everyone knew to like give space out things to, because it just felt good to be able to like have everyone watch this, process it, have maybe like sometimes things rolled right into another thing. There were times when things were right on top of each other a little
Yeah.
bit, but it felt like you could at least catch like everything and not feel like you were missing out.
I think part of that, because I totally agree with you, and it's been my pet peeve for years now, that like Xbox and PC gaming show are happening while we're supposed to be there, and then I have to get up in the middle of Grounded too.
It is tough. Yeah.
But I think it is definitely this like that it's essentially the consequence of it being a smaller invite only event, because with E3, like they couldn't show.
I miss the E3 chaos.
But
Oh
the
my
thing,
God.
yeah, the E3 is like it was full of like, you know,
Chaos.
salespeople and managers and marketing people and all these other people that were there for business reasons other than us covering it. And because of that, they couldn't just be like, oh, don't talk about that game, it's embargoed right now, right? So it's like, so you couldn't just, because there's like games that I saw on day one that didn't get announced and it's a PC gaming show.
Oh, yes.
You know, so it's like
Yeah.
at E3 you couldn't do that. Like if it was on the floor, then you know
You could-
somebody would catch it and start talking about it. Right?
Yeah.
So I think that that's part of the reason is like because they know who's going to be there, and they know there's like okay, if you're there, you're gonna hold to the secrets to when we're ready to reveal it.
Yeah.
Then the reveals unfortunately can happen after the show has started.
Isla and Don and Gabby, any takes on
Yeah, I mean,
the SGF week?
I echo a lot of the thoughts that they had. I think that a lot of it is still kind of like not growing pains exactly, but it still feels like we're in kind of like a Wild West sort of.
Mm-hmm.
And like we were talking about this, I was talking about this with somebody where Jeff's show of SGF is kind of interesting because Sony and Xbox and various other places have their own shows. So why would they put anything in Jeff's show? And that like, you know, because there was a brief window where Jeff's show was like, it's got all the megatons, but now it's kind of just like another PC gaming show where it like has good stuff, but it's not like, you know, a first party giant bomb, you know, except for, you know, of course, Resident Evil 9 was there, like Capcom showed up, it was great, but like he can get some of those, but not all of them.
I feel that.
But like then you think back and it's like, well, E3 never had a centralized press conference either. So yeah, it's interesting.
I think with those it was just more of, you know, you have the first party megatons, but then like sometimes you would get some third parties in one of those individual showcases.
Yeah,
as
like
well.
Xbox or Sony would get Capcom instead.
But there was never an E3.
Yeah.
Well, they tried once and it was terrible.
Well, yeah.
But also, shout out to climate change because it's not 98 degrees and you're not sweating bullets trying to go from Hall H to whatever, or West Hall to East Hall. So that's a plus.
Do we?
I like SGF though.
Same.
I appreciate that it exists. I like that. Like Jeff catches a lot of flack, whatever. I feel like I'm a Jeff defender sometimes.
Same. I always feel like I'm defending.
And
Jeff
it's like he's
sure.
not like, you know, nothing is perfect, and he's got to pay the bills, and like, you know, the inclusion stuff could always be better, but that's kind of everything. But like, you know, at least somebody is doing it, kind of, you know, and it's like, you know, I like my Nepo kids like trying to do things instead of just like riding it. So
Right.
Yeah, spend that IMAX money, baby. Hit it.
He works hard. Let's
go.
hard.
No,
Yeah.
he is the hardest working guy ever.
Well,
I like
and then
Jeff
shout
a
out
lot,
to John Gibson and IMA.
Yeah, IMA bit. They're throwing it together.
Because I was, you know, with Jeff, and people are like, you know, telling Jeff how good of a job that he's done with the show, and he's like, this isn't me. Like they're doing all that work. So
That's awesome.
But the thing about that show floor, which is so crazy, is again because it's so small and we're all like packed in there and it's so intimate. Like at 83, if I was in a Nintendo booth, you know, I would only see mostly Nintendo people for, you know, most of the day, right? If I would just stay there. But like with SGF, like I go on the show floor and like within an hour, like I had talked to people from Sony, from Xbox, and from Nintendo. Like they're all just right there.
Yeah.
You can like see them across the room.
They're all just mingling.
Yeah. The like bump into people per second is way higher
Exactly.
at SGF than E3, you know.
Do we like SGF Week more than the Game Awards?
Like,
Do we get more hyped for this week than the Game Awards?
I mean, the Game Awards is more hype, but I like being at SGF more. Mm-hmm. Being at the Game Awards kind of like you get to talk to people, but it also kind of sucks at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Like, what show do you enjoy more? I guess is the main question.
I mean, with everything filtered, like the whole.
Yeah, I
like,
mean, this is a week.
Yeah,
me.
I
It's
mean,
the whole week.
it depends on the. It honestly depends on the year. Like if you have a state of play and you have a Nintendo Direct, and you know, and Microsoft's still doing their thing, and they have like solid games, and you're going to walk away like, yeah, this was amazing. And then like an off year where one of them doesn't show up, like so far Nintendo has not done Direct.
Yeah.
You know, for anything for in this time frame, you're like, oh, maybe it wasn't as strong. I would say like, I feel like the Game Awards is more consistent in having at least one or two really big things that get you like really excited. Like it would be like a RE9 caliber plus like another thing that would be RE9 caliber. And I think we had good games in this show, but like RE9 was the only like of that high caliber of like craziness, like chaoticness. In terms of growing pains and evolution, I'll say this: like I would give serious consideration. Like if it was me, I'd be like, does the SGF show part, like the live portion, is there a way to we talk about how many these other showcases there are. Is there a way to give way to others to allow them to fill in that space and do that on their that's something that like Jeff doesn't have to organize and do like a show part of it. It's just the companies stepping in and doing conference days on their own, leading into like Jeff's play days. I think that might be a better evolution because I'm starting to think that like as time goes on, I mean, just because obviously this could be an off year, but like it could be the reality that as time goes on, the bigger companies are just not going to want to share as much with Jeff for this.
Yeah.
They will for TGA, but they won't for this, obviously. So I think I think he did it as
you're right.
I feel like he did it as a necessity because it's like we need something to get people excited that aren't going to go to the show. We need to like have a presentation, a showcase, and he did his best. And maybe everyone wasn't ready to restart up their marketing machines for those types of like directs, live conferences, and I think now we're going back into that direction. Maybe it's time for that portion to be scaled back.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, the Game Awards for sure has a little more gravitas with the big announcements. I feel like for sure. Yeah, cool.
Well, yeah, Jeff's show is definitely because it feels like because Playdays is not public.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the middle thing to show a lot of the stuff that he got for Playdays. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was SGF 2025. Check out all of our coverage.
Mm-hmm.
All of it. We got a lot of coverage. We got streams and previews and impressions,
And
interviews,
got a
and
live demo.
Huber hype going around the actual space.
People are
that you can
loving that
see.
Huber hype, dude.
So,
People are really happy with that Huber hype.
So fun.
Shout out to you and Don.
Shout out, Don. Heck yeah. It's so fun every time. My whole goal every time is to bring all of you into the space until they open the floodgates. Let everybody in.
No, don't
Let everybody in.
Don't let everybody in.
Yes.
You can show it off.
E3 all over again. Let everybody in. The more the
Can you
merrier.
imagine how insane that little fucking like tiny little alley would be with public in there?
Get everybody.
It would be so crowded.
It would be pandemonium. They would have to move locations for sure. All right. We've got more to come, but if you've been enjoying the show so far, please take a second to like and subscribe and ring that bell on YouTube. It helps us and you stay connected. Also, if you want to sponsor this podcast and put your name right here in this space and get in touch, you can email us at info@easyallies.com and we'll get you all the details. Next up, Yacht Club Games is almost back. They're pretty much back with this because there's a demo for Mina the Hollower. Mm-hmm. Damiani and Bloodworth had a chance to play this. By the way, the demo is only available until June 17th. So get in there if you want to play it. And you both said it's about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
What did
Pretty
we
short.
think? Is the hype level still up? Uh-oh.
Long pause.
Uh-oh.
Long pause. Yacht Club found dead.
Oh, God.
So this is, it has a lot. It showed a lot of promise and potential. It's
By the way, I
it's-
think Shovel Knight is one of the
Uh-oh.
greatest games ever made.
And I think
I truly
Shovel
do.
Knight took a little while. It felt good immediately, but it took a while to like open up. I think and hit its stride and really make its mark essentially, where it's like this is really good. And I'm seeing a lot of that early on here. I do think like maybe it's just like the early areas.
Yeah, they said this is literally the beginning of the game.
Yeah, so it's extremely linear, which is I felt like to be expected because like your objective is you get like a letter to come to this like island to help out because like you what was it, the lights or
The generators.
The generators, sorry,
Yeah,
the
generators that you apparently designed.
Yeah, you designed something's like going wrong with them, and you've been called to
And
help.
Did you see the fountain in the middle?
Yep.
Yeah. So there's like a fountain in the middle of the town square where you see like the different lights from the generators that are all out. So I do think that once we get past this opening,
Yes.
then it's like maybe you can go like a spoke to whichever one you want.
Yes, that's the moment I was like, I need to get to that point, and I think then it'll be fair to like really say anything. Also, you choose your starting weapon. And I don't know what I picked the ball and chain.
Yeah, I did too.
The flail.
Basically the Simon Belmont whip.
Yeah, I want to try like range because it's like, well, Zelda's always like sword, so it's like I'm gonna try because it's being compared to Link's Awakening so much. I said, well, let me try a range weapon. They also had a giant hammer that you could charge up that I didn't get to use.
Yeah, and then there's twin daggers.
Twin daggers.
Nice.
Yep.
So we all got them. We got all of the weapons.
Now you start off. Your ship is arriving, coming up on the island. You're attacked by none other than the Kraken.
Nice.
Said we talk about the Kraken one
But
more
it's
time.
a nether Kraken.
A nether Kraken.
Yeah.
And this is a fight where you can actually win.
I love that.
But you can like I feel like you're supposed to lose, but you can definitely win.
That's so cool.
And it's like it's not. I would say like for early on, it's like you're thrown into this chaotic situation, so you're still trying to figure out like what's the range of my weapon,
Mechanics
and then this is where it quickly became apparent the jumping in this game because you see a lot of platforming and jumping. It's not quite this. It's not exactly Link's Awakening. For some reason my mind went in expecting exactly Link's Awakening, and it's not. It's their own thing.
Yeah, no,
it's a little bit more, I would say, precise, whereas Link's Awakening has a floaty nature to it, which is a little bit more forgiving, and also you could do a little bit more crazier stuff with it. And so
also, if you fall
timing.
in a pit, you lose a lot of health.
Yeah, the health system in this was also a thing to
Shovel
get
Knight's
used
tough.
to
Shovel Knight's a tough
because
game. It pushes
you
back.
have like it's healing items with like charges, so it's like you use those. There's like no hearts on the ground and stuff like that. So
yeah, so it's interesting here. So you'll see it in the bottom at some point. You see there was the 4 vials or whatever.
Yes.
So first of all, you need vials. So sort of like Estus flasks.
Yeah.
But when your vials are empty when you have them, so you then need to like
Gotta find-
attack enemies or find like these flowers
enemies.
to fill the vial,
Nice.
and then
Cool.
you will see on your health bar how much the vial will fill up when you chug.
Awesome.
But once you chug, then you lose the actual vial. Until you go to the next checkpoint.
Yeah,
So
so
if
the
you chug
checkpoints
3
are-
times, then that's it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so if you run out of vials, but you're picking up the stuff to fill them with, it's not doing. So that's gonna take some getting used to.
I
'cause-
like it.
Yeah, so it's different. It's a
I don't
different.
know why it made me think of ink ribbons for some reason.
Oh yeah,
I don't
it
know.
definitely puts. I would say it puts more, puts more tension to like even like regular encounters, and even just traversing the environment. Like the only thing that comes close is like if you did like the expert or hero modes of those Zelda games, where like hearts are harder to find and something like that. So it's like it's that's what a default difficulty of this is. Now. The Mina the Hollower. They're a hollower because they can also hollow and dig underground, and you can do it in virtually almost any spot. So you could do it
That's
to
wild.
go like
there's some specific, like you'll see some specific tile types that you can't burrow into, but most things, even if you would think you couldn't, you can.
So yeah, it's pretty essential. There are things you got to go under. There are things underground you can pop up that are helpful, and secrets as well. You also use it to platform. Like there's like in you can jump like 1 square across, but if you see gaps that are like way longer than that, it's like, wait, how do I deal with that? You gotta hollow underground and then like
Launch up.
launch
you launch
up,
out,
and you can go further like that.
Fun.
Also, like to evade attacks, you can do that as well.
Yeah, that's the thing, because that's really your only dodge is
burrow.
burrowing.
How long can you stay burrowed?
Not very long.
Yeah, you'll start
It's
flashing
like
when you're
2 to
when you're
3
about to pop
seconds,
out, yeah.
and you'll automatically pop out.
Interesting.
So you got to learn that rhythm.
That sounds fun.
But like Damiani was saying, like sometimes there will be burrows that you take you down into a cave. Sometimes you'll see like just like a little gap, or like kind of like Zelda, where you have like the walls that you break open a little bit, and then you can go under a gap to find extra places. Sometimes you can burrow like under a boulder, and then you're holding the boulder and you can throw it.
Cool.
Little things
powerful.
like that. But Damiani, I don't know if I just missed this or if they need to like tutorialize this slightly better. I didn't realize that I was supposed to burrow into the checkpoints until like the last checkpoint.
Oh,
Or not quite the last, but pretty close to the end of the demo. So like when you get to a checkpoint, when you walk over it'll glow.
Yeah.
But it looks like a little like bit of soft dirt or whatever. If you burrow into it, then there's like stuff in there to get more flasks, and there's stuff to you level up with bones.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, think of it like, honestly, it reminds me of Zelda 2, where you have like the experience and like they're all the same price. Like attack costs 350, hearts go 350. When you level one up, it just goes up. It like double or more than doubles in price. It went up in price, but like it was very familiar to that and that vibe to me.
So basically, the three things that you could level up were there's attack, defense, and then your sub weapons. Attack power.
Nice.
Oh, and then also the gem thing.
And then the gem thing kind of works like popping souls, but kind of in reverse.
You can bank souls.
Yeah. So so your bones by default, if you die, then you'll lose your bones, and then you have to go grab them. But you can condense the bones into like a gem, and then that you'll hang on to when you die.
For example, if you had 100 bones, how much would it cost to condense them into a gem?
I think it's something like that. Like you could like use 100. You could use like 100 and turn it into a gem.
Got it.
But there's a machine basically in the checkpoints that allows you to like convert them back and forth. So yeah, I don't know the exact numbers, but that's kind of how it works.
Yeah. There's a lot of like environmental obstacles. Like there's like parts of the ground that's on fire. Obviously, like moving platforms, enemies that shoot projectiles at you that go through. Like you think you're behind a wall, but like they'll go through that. So it's definitely got a lot more. Like it's a little bit more challenging. I think just to like just navigate in general and like get by. I think you have to be a little bit more purposeful and a little bit more strategic with
You're saying all the right things.
Yeah, and like the attack, like there were points where I was regretting my choice for the weapon because I was like, it's range, but like it's so slow and it's in one direction. I can't like turn with it. Like I'm used to like. I'm thinking like again like Link's Awakening when you have the sword you swing, you can kind of like it covers a wide range. You can turn. You're very mobile with it when you like are done. This is like you gotta like be careful with this. And like in the boss battle, so realizing that the first fight was like a boss fight, I was like, oh, I could have won that. There are two more boss fights, and those I did much better on those, I feel like, because watching the patterns, you watch for the patterns, and obviously, that's like Shovel Knight, like looking at the fights, learning the rhythm and the patterns of that. But this being top down, it was a little like, more digestible for me. So I feel like especially the last one where like the Dragoon thing like jumps down, like I didn't get hit once in that fight. I was like, oh, okay, like this is.
Yeah, I similarly I had the most struggle with the second boss fight.
Second boss fight, I got caught by like one, like it had a leaping thing that like I kind of like missed. I was trying to like hit it and I misjudged the distance. And when I swung, it hit me too.
Yeah, because this guy can jump across the whole freaking screen.
Yeah,
you're not safe unless you burrow.
You got to burrow.
You got to burrow before the jump because it's fast.
Already cheesing in a demo.
They destroy the bolt. There's a bunch of like rock boulders in the fight arena, but like you can hide behind them until they're destroyed, and like with the range thing, you can range filth them. Just spam away as much as you can before they're like destroying it.
But like you're saying here, they do have the Castlevania sub weapon, so you do have. You do have the throwing axe,
dude.
And when it hits the ground, it splits and goes into 4 directions.
Okay.
And then you also have like a boomerang.
That's what. Okay, knife. That is like
boomerang OP.
So that boss he's talking about, the second one, it jumped and stuff. I'd like throw it, let it jump, and it's like just hit him all. But like just he stands there for a second. I'm like. Boomerang's just hitting him, bam, 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 and I'm whacking. And like the range thing too, I was like that plus the boomerang, and then like the Dragoon thing does like the Lance Knight, I guess, like does these dashes where it leaves behind like these like explosive like lion mines or whatever that blow up and then do a vertical explosion. But like you time it when they're about to dash and throw the boomerang, like they'll just run into it. Like you can, I like that about the sub weapon a lot. And they clearly in the trailer showed a lot more. I was like, oh man, these are gonna be like fun. So those combinations. So like even though I was like a little struggling a bit with like getting good with the ball and chain whip, I obviously those secondary weapons I think are there to help you out and bail you up. But again, they cost like Castlevania, it costs like their equivalent of hearts, so they felt pretty generous to pick those up. So
Maybe
I didn't
just
feel
find
like I was
your main your main weapon that you
Exactly.
like a little more, yeah.
Yeah.
There's also the one thing that's not in the demo, but you can see where it is trinkets.
Yeah.
So I imagine that's going to be very
Yeah.
like Hollow Knight-esque, where you like equip different trinkets for different situations, you know, and have these modifiers on what you even can do.
Does it in just general sense, did you like the way it felt?
I mean,
Just the controls overall? You said you had a little bit of issues.
yeah,
but-
like it's just getting used to a different style because again, headspace was in the wrong place. Thinking it was gonna be like floaty jump mechanics,
Yeah.
and it's not that at all. I mean, the burrowing part like has a bit of like a learning curve because like you do move a little bit more like loose in that regard. So, but it clicks very very quickly. I think but. That was just, just that, honestly.
Yeah, to me, it felt more like a top-down Castlevania than a
Yeah,
Zelda game
it was
in a lot of ways. But it
yeah.
is a pretty good middle ground. And then the music, is very along the same lines of Shovel Knight or like Mega Man. Yeah.
Is your hype level higher, the same, or lower after playing the demo?
I think probably the same because, like you said, it is Yacht Club and have some pretty high expectations.
Oh, yeah.
And I like what
And
I
they've been
played.
cooking
I
on
like
this.
they have a little bit of story stuff in there to to like get to know what's going on with society in this world and all of that. So yeah, and the cutscenes that they played at the beginning are just like so freaking cool and gorgeous. Yeah.
That looks really good. Yeah, it just depends on I would say same just because I just want to get into like the other
Yeah, try the
environments
other weapons.
and see like
Yeah.
if there is more like a little bit like more back and forth with that, and then like also like in terms of exploration and traversal.
Yeah,
and what other
that's
things you're gonna get access to? Because clearly in the trailer they show you like jumping even further than you could. I came across a spot. I was like, oh, you can't go here yet. I was like,
Yet.
all right, we'll be back with something,
Nice.
of course. Look forward to that.
And it's coming out soon, October 31st. Happy Halloween.
What a day, yeah.
Crazy.
Going for that Majora's Mask vibes.
Yeah.
US
Castlevania
just came
vibes
out,
too.
yeah.
Awesome. Mina the Hollower. Definitely one of Easy Ally's most anticipated, I would say, just coming off a Yacht Club and Shovel Knight and everything. So, been in development for a while. We don't have to wait too much longer. It's super nice. And remember, everybody, the demo goes away June 17th.
Yep.
So you only got a few more days to play if you're curious. Alrighty, this comes as absolutely no surprise whatsoever to me. Switch 2, the fastest selling console of all time. Immediately. 3.5 million units in the first 4 days. Obviously, it's freaking Switch 2. Switch 1 is one of the most successful and beloved consoles of all time. And now you're launching with none other than Mario Kart, an absolute must-play to many of us. Take it away, Blood. What do you got to say, man?
I mean, it's funny that
go
you're
through
saying
some
no
of this.
surprise, but I think there was a lot of concern about the price and things like that.
I thought they were going to sell as many as they had. However
Yeah.
many they had, they were selling
and that's
out.
what some people have
Period.
been saying. It's like
Yeah.
we
Period.
don't. It's a funny metric because we don't really know what the ceiling is because how many can you make?
Yeah, how many
Is
can you
really
make?
What
We'll
it comes
sell them
down
all.
to. Yeah. Analyst Daniel Ahmad gave some number breakdown, some comparisons to just put in perspective because it's like we hear about so many millions in terms of like sales of like software and stuff and like
Yeah.
digital sales and all that. So it can be hard for a console to like put it in perspective. So PS4 took 2 weeks to sell 2.1 million units, 6 weeks to get to 4.2 million.
6 weeks for 4.2, and this got 3.5 in 4 days.
Yeah.
Crazy.
PS5 took 7 weeks to sell 4.4 million, but he
Yeah.
noted that
Yeah.
they were supply constrained because of the pandemic stuff
For
going on.
sure.
And it was a staggered release date, so it came out like a week later in some places. And then I saw Chris Dring's one of his recent newsletters, The Game Business. Ampere estimates that there were 5.3 million PC gaming handhelds sold by the end of 2024. 4.1 million of those being the Steam Deck.
Ever?
Ever. So
Ever.
in like a week or two, the Switch 2 will have outsold the Steam Deck.
Yeah. Of course. It's Nintendo. I mean, that's why I'm not surprised, because it's Nintendo. Aside from the weird naming convention of the Wii U. I feel like I would never in
The
my
ROG Ally X?
wildest I would never in my wildest dreams bet against Nintendo is what I'm saying. Ever.
Gotcha.
I would
Yeah.
never bet against them.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was expected. Obviously, I think, yeah, you said like price. The other part, I think, ensured that this was probably going to sell so well. Besides, everything you said was, a little bit of FOMO, like people thinking like, oh, Switch 1 sold out, like this is going to sell out. Rush in to get your pre-orders in now. And also like,
I think the Wii U being hard to get helps too. Still, or the Wii 1. I mean, the Wii.
Wii? Oh, when it came out?
Yeah, the Wii.
Oh.
I thought you meant now. I was like,
Yeah,
sorry. I was
okay.
like, what now?
No, when the Wii came out,
Okay,
it was
sorry.
impossible to get.
Yes,
I think
yes,
that
yes, yes,
Nintendo
yes.
still rides that.
Yes,
Yes.
a hot Nintendo system. It's like, oh gosh, it could be a year, 2 years to get this. Yeah, so all that. Also, uncertainty about price changing. Like, Nintendo already went through that. They had to basically say, hang on, we got to push back pre-orders because we don't know
Yeah.
what the price is going to be anymore, even though we announced a price. And then, at least here in the U.S., they kept it the same, but will it remain that for how long? Or, will, if it not, will people like that? People are definitely considering that for their purchases because
Yeah.
they probably feel like it's better to try and get it now, get it.
Yeah, and especially
avoid all
coming
the
off-
hassle.
Yeah, and especially coming off the last console generation where there were no price drops. Like
Right.
you're only missing out on time with the console by not buying it now. There is absolutely no benefit, unfortunately, to waiting.
Yeah.
You might get a bundled game if you wait years, or you might get like a holiday Costco.
You get a bundled game now and save $30 by
Yeah.
buying the bundle.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
back then it was like, oh, I'm just going to wait until that first price drop or the bundle comes out. And now there's just a lot more incentive to buy it right away.
Yeah.
For sure. Are we any other Switch 2 musings now that we're, the dust has settled a little bit on the launch?
Well, we had another thing in there too. So don't forget that. But yeah,
I'm still just waiting for games to be on this thing. Mm-hmm. Like, as someone who doesn't super care about Mario Kart, I feel like mine is just waiting. It's a waiting machine right now. And I mean, I got it because scarcity concerns and also just for this job. Like,
Yeah.
if I hadn't, we wouldn't have been able to stream it day one.
Right.
Yeah, for real.
So, like, yeah, right now I'm just like, I bought it on spec,
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I don't really care about that either. So I'm just like, I mean, I'll play it, obviously.
But you love Mario.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Mario. I'm waiting
Yeah.
for Metroid. I'm waiting for Fire Emblem. I'm waiting for Zelda. I'm waiting for, that kind of stuff. Weirdo other stuff. Like, my favorite stuff on the Switch is generally, like, besides, Fire Emblem.
oh
Two
yeah,
Houses is,
show
like,
off those
weird
crazy
shit.
little things I just got for
Yeah.
Dawn.
Huh?
They still
Oh,
behind
the
you?
wheels?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for
We got a secondary pack. I asked about accessories, and they sent over. We got the wheels.
Nice.
We also got the camera and the Pro
We got the
controller.
camera and a
Nice.
Pro Controller, too. I don't see that.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Donkey Kong to dethrone Isla's Blueprints Goatee. That's what I'm waiting for. Isla's gonna come in screaming, Donkey
Don't-
That's a tall order. I don't know.
Don't hold your breath, dude.
I was just
boy.
kidding. I'm kidding. Donkey Kong looks so freaking good though.
It looks cute, yeah.
And then Bloodworth.
Splatoon Raiders announced. There you
How
go,
pumped
Isla.
are you?
Yeah.
How pumped are you, Blood? You love Splatoon.
I love it, but I also like
Is this the right thing?
Yes, this is the right thing. It's such a like
It's like a
such
Resident Evil cutscene, right?
It's such a tease, Huber, because
Yeah.
it's like we don't really know what this game is yet, and so like we kind of see a cutscene. We
The
kind of
name Raiders Blood definitely alludes to other types of gameplay.
right like an
possibly.
extraction
Or
game or something, but it
something. Yeah,
does
yeah, yeah.
feel like maybe most likely single player adventure kind of game. And so so they're the deep cut, and then you play as this mechanic. You're out here like stranded on a desert island, basically. First Splatoon spinoff, and that's what's interesting to me about it is that in the past the single player has been great, but it has also been like a lot of these kind of like floating in space kind of
Right.
levels, right?
Yeah.
So in this, you get a little bit of hint of like, oh, we might actually be exploring the Splatoon world a little bit more.
It looks like we're going to be farming. Honestly, I'm getting farming. I'm getting farming and crafting energy out of this. I'm serious.
It could be. It could be. I don't know. Don't know what this game is yet. In the role of mechanic, players will go on adventure in the mysterious Spiralite Islands alongside the Splat-tacular Deep Cut Trio.
Awesome.
That's it. That's what we got. We got a little like mech running around next to you.
As the Easy Allies Splatoon expert, Bloodworth, are you pleased with a spin-off? Are you comfortable waiting for a full-fledged Splatoon 4?
Oh yeah, no, they had a pretty good, cadence, and that's the other thing. They just did a big Splatoon 3 update. It's in this as well. That you are going to they're.
It looks gorgeous.
They're adding a bunch of new weapons and badges and stuff like that, but they are also giving it the Switch 2 update. So
Nice.
higher res and in the plazas and stuff like that.
More frames.
Exactly.
Give us
because
the frames.
in the other games, yes, here's the Splatoon 3 side of it. The plaza has been running at like 30 frames per second, even though the matches were running at 60. And so, like, you would do a bunch of matches for a while, and then you'd go out to do some stuff in the plaza, and you're like, oh. It's very
What's going on out here?
So yeah, I haven't hopped into it yet. I think the update actually just dropped today.
Awesome.
So it will be nice. Also, I've heard some rumblings from people that the gyro on the Switch 2 Pro controller might be better.
Blood is
so that
pumped.
might be nice to play around
Oh
with.
my gosh.
So we'll see.
Blood the
We'll see.
gyro, man. So awesome.
And then Damiani, I know I left the Switch 2 here for you to poke around with. I want to know if you got to do a whole lot else.
Boot up a bunch of games just to look at them run mostly better. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition ran like almost, I think, 60. It was nice to see that. And Fire Emblem Warriors, the most recent one, ran a little bit better. Age of Calamity ran, it's capped, it's like, I think it's coded to be capped at 30, but it actually ran consistently at 30 when I was running around in an environment, so that was like kind of nice.
That's nice
to see that. Xenoblade Chronicles X. The best thing about it is those menus were laggy as shit on Switch, on OG Switch. I'd like try and buffer in like down pad like twice. Like I know where to go in a menu and it like overshoot because it like registers. I was like, come on, like load the menu because it wouldn't register the first hit. Smooth. I was like, okay, takes Switch 2 to run the menus,
Oh my
but
God.
also like just immediately when my like skeleton flew into the air and I was like, hey, we're running a little bit better here. Like
Nice.
this is like nice. In terms, ran around a lot in Breath of the Wild 1. I wanted to see because we saw Tears of Kingdom. I wanted to see Breath of the Wild 1. Was in Hatano. Went into my house. Went into my
Nice.
house,
Yeah.
looked around, was raining out, glided for a bit in that 60 frames rain. It was, nice looking. Went right to
This is important stuff. These remasters.
went to the little, went to
just
the
tech
great
upgrades.
a certain area of a key moment in the game that was a little framey and it was no longer framey.
That
Went to an
Yeah,
enemy.
I need to poke into that too.
Yeah, went into an enemy that caused some hiccups for me. It had already been fixed before, but like just reconfirmed it looked nice.
Yeah.
And then I played a little bit of Street Fighter 6 because I was curious to see a more current gen game running on Switch 2.
Yeah.
And in game, like the fight, and when you're in fights, it looked pretty like good. Like it wasn't looking too closely, but it ran nicely and looked pretty much similar. But when it was more of like cutscene cinematics with the character models, you could tell like there's like a little bit more aliasing going. Like it didn't have as much anti-aliasing. Yeah.
That's something I had noticed with Cyberpunk as well. But I was playing, when I played at the event, it was like old builds, and I knew they were still working on it. So I don't know how it looks now, but it was one of the things that was very apparent. It's like, like some of the hair stuff is a little messy.
It looks like it's on super like the lowest setting, whatever the console settings are. It's like at a lower of the everything else it's on. It's like at a lower setting than that. Like if you're playing on PS5, it's like if there was a lower setting option, that's what like the Switch 2 version is. But I mean, it's running. Performance wise, looked pretty good from what I could tell. I just like I forgot about the it's not god awful, but like the really long tutorial where it's like, here's how to walk, here's how to like do a kick, here's a light attack, heavy attack. It's like, skip.
World Tour.
It ran I just ran around for like a second in it, and like looked pretty. It looked definitely like noticeable that part was like not quite like the same level as PS5, but still ran okay. But I mean, I just did like 2 or 3 like regular like versus matches just see like did it like timing feel off or anything like that, where they like, because in a fighting game you cannot have hiccups, you cannot have anything like that.
Laggy at all.
And that part where it mattered, it felt like it had nailed down. It's just in other areas you're gonna see like a little bit of like a hit to the image quality. I feel like that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you pop into Odyssey at all?
No, I didn't pop into Odyssey. I did boot up Bowser's Fury and didn't notice I was like, I can't really tell because I mean, maybe it runs at 16. It didn't. I forgot.
I haven't played it in so long.
Yeah, I get it. I forgot on that one. I just got out of it real quick because I was like, I didn't even like boot up the original to remember. But did dive into Echoes and Link's Awakening just to see them run a smooth frame rate.
Yep.
So nice to finally.
Link's Awakening.
No, I didn't work on Switch 1, but it finally runs smoothly there. So I was like, okay, I'll take it.
Pretty noticeable regular hitches in those that some people like they stop playing.
I tried booting.
Do it.
I tried booting up like Bayonetta 3. Didn't really notice any difference there.
I haven't heard of them having anything for that.
Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive
nice
Edition,
one to
like the first Xenoblade, didn't notice any real difference there. Honestly. Yeah, I just went through a lot of my catalog of games, booted them up, looked around for a second,
Played
tried
for
to
a few
see.
minutes.
And, like even like Captain Toto's like, what's the difference? I was like, because I played that so much on handheld too, so I was like, whatever. But I mean, ran smoothly.
Hype for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah,
So
finally.
So hyped.
Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I do think like the Garrick Mach, the school grounds areas. I didn't notice any like stuttering performance dips that I noticed in certain areas. Like walking into like the cafeteria area or the Great Hall area always felt like it died a little bit there. Wasn't doing that. So at least it was like running at like a stable, like steady locked frame rate, sort of. Yeah.
Awesome. Switch to any other closing thoughts as we are
Not at
a
the
little
moment.
over a week.
At some point, I'll get to put some more time into Mario
Yeah,
Kart
I'm
and stuff
looking
like that.
forward
That's what I
to-
wanted. Like, but because of Summer Game Fest and because I left the Switch 2 here for him to play with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not gotten any deeper into Mario Kart yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I wanna get on it my own when I get home.
Same.
And,
I don't have a Switch yet, but I think for my birthday in August, and then I'll be able to play Mario Kart and Donkey Kong.
yeah, because I want to play in
Oh, yeah.
handheld mode a bit. I want to see how.
Yeah, scope it out.
Some point.
Yeah.
Well, now that Splatoon Raiders have been announced, I don't know when this Nintendo Direct's happening, but some point by the end of the month, I think we'll get that Direct. We'll see what the August game is.
Yeah. What's it gonna be?
Could be Metroid.
Metroid.
But, yep.
So hyped. I think that's a really good variety too, having Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, and Metroid. 3 very different games.
Yeah.
Top tier. It's a good lineup. It's a really good lineup. Also this week, Daniel Bloodworth, tell us about this mess.
Yeah, mind's eye.
Yo, I made sure to go into some Twitch streams of this game. I saw a good 7 minutes of this game. Holy shit, it looks terrible.
Yeah. Well, you tell me, because I've seen some choice clips. I saw one where the girl, her car slid sideways and then she just got stuck in between like just 2 planters or something. Yeah. And because she was stuck, but the physics kept rolling momentum, her car just kept doing more and more damage and catching further and further on fire and just like particles flying everywhere.
I saw
until she finally died.
Yeah, blood. I saw some shootouts and they just looked shockingly dull. I was really hoping for some style in this game. Like,
yeah, that's the thing. I saw
ago,
like the crazy moments. I didn't see enough of like just basics.
The basic shooting and stuff, it was rough. My hope for this game that I said a couple weeks ago was like, I really hope this is one of my favorite 7s of the year. That's where my expectations were. I was like, I think we could be safely swimming. I don't think we're swimming here.
Right. Yeah. Like I saw things where like where with the character models where like the eyes and the teeth would pop out of the face for a second.
No.
I saw a thing where somebody like hit somebody on the side of the road instead of them ragdolling, but basically all of their bodies kind of fell apart, but didn't fall apart. It was weird. So it's like their head went one direction, their arms went like another direction. But there was like
no gore, just like weird tech.
it was like Laffy Taffy.
Oh
it was
my
just
God.
like the head went over here, but there was just like this long stretchy bit going in between. And then there's one part where it's like the traffic system just completely broke, and there was just traffic jam everywhere. Just this wall-to-wall cars.
First
everywhere.
realistic thing in the game. It works right.
It's really insane.
Yeah, but
I think anytime you hear about executives too leaving a company before the game launches,
2 execs left right
That's-
before launch.
it's really a big red flag. You know.
Also, they did
just
not-
happened recently with Suicide Squad. They left before that game launched, and
Yeah.
we all know how that turned out.
They did not send it out to reviewers. We got an email days before launch. There's like, oh, sorry, they don't have enough codes or something. I'm like, okay, sure.
Shame.
So many people were requesting, I'm sure.
Just stalling that first week or two because it's so important for your launch, trying to keep the critiques down and out.
Damiani, you have to tell us what you heard about streamers playing this game who bought the game.
Oh, there's better. Okay,
is so shady.
There's streamer had a game was after their supposed Twitch, because for new releases on games on Twitch, there's usually like a time you can't stream before you like just get flagged automatically by Twitch. So they had a physical copy. It was past that time. The developers went on their Twitch account in there and asked them to please stop streaming it. And they were like, they banned them basically. But it goes even further than this. There are influencers who are paid to stream this. They're getting ready to stream their game. And like, I think it was Carnage was one of them. And
I think it might be, yeah.
Their agent called them up minutes before they started to stream, said, they want to pull it. They don't want to like do it. They were already live though. And so like they were like telling their chat like, I guess they don't want me to stream the game anymore. And another streamer, it crashed like 4 times on them. So
Yeah.
they just started reading the press like released bullet points. I was like, and that's what they were paid to do. Like, I don't know what else to do except read this. So it's like
apparently there's a memory leak
yes.
issue that they're trying to fix now that's causing it to crash pretty
Classic
regularly.
memory leak issue.
I gotta read the subject line of this freaking launch email though.
Yeah. Get a load of this.
Build a Rocket Boy and IOI partners announce global release of Mind's Eye June 10th. The future of gaming starts now.
Insane. So just
The Steam page thing. They listed the game, the price. There's a $50 price and there's a $70 price, but they didn't say what the difference was. And then later they added in a deluxe edition, but they still didn't tell you what came in the deluxe edition.
good grief.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the base game is $60.
Oh, the base is 60. Oh,
The
even
deluxe
worse.
edition is 80. So I heard they are giving refunds as well.
Right.
But if you're watching this, I would say
Well,
maybe
I mean,
hold off on
Steam has a refund policy on their own, so that's just probably Steam. Are they
Yeah.
giving
Sony
refunds?
as well? Is
Yeah,
one
I mean,
of the
that's all their
headlines.
things, I guess.
Yeah, Sony refunds.
Yeah.
So according
Wild.
to Polygon and other sites as well. Wild.
Next up, the video game actor strike is over.
Yay!
SAG-AFTRA has announced that it's reached an agreement with the contracted video game publishers, including Activision, Disney, EA, Epic, Take-Two, WB, all those guys.
The heavy hitters.
Quote, patience and persistence has resulted in a deal that puts in place the necessary AI guardrails
Good.
that defend performers' livelihoods in the AI age alongside other important gains.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm curious. The only thing I'll say is like I'm curious. A lot of the comments I was able to see about this were saying like, while it's good the strike's over, that and their agreement was reached, that the outcome is not great and everything that there seems to be a lot of negative sentiment out there around this from people in the voice actors. I think some of them that this was maybe not worth it or something. I don't know. Like, I wish someone who
Not
was
everything that they wanted. Yeah.
Well, it seems like they were unhappy with SAG-AFTRA specifically.
So a compromise.
I think
Halfway
the
happy.
similar thing happened in Hollywood with the previous strike. The Hollywood actors in the same kind of issues. It's like they got a certain amount of ground, but then it's like you're gonna have to keep pushing and keep negotiating to basically to keep the pressure on and not let things slide in the wrong direction. Yeah.
Those AI guardrails. Jeez.
Yeah, I imagine it's tough to get everything that you want in a situation like that. I
Yeah.
just checked, and only 1,000 people are watching Mind's Eye on Twitch.
Only.
That's like less than
Steep
Suicide
fall.
Squad. Yeah, that thing's DOA.
According to Kotaku, Bend Studio, makers of Days Gone, has seen layoffs of about 40 developers, about a third of that team, after the recent cancellation of their live service game.
I love Days Gone. Just beat it again, that remaster. It's so
It's a
good.
long one to beat.
Oh, it's so good, though. It's so good. I love it so much.
There is silver lining. I mean, obviously, it's damage control from Sony's part, but they are working on a new project now. Sony says that, quote, Bend Studio has been a valued part of PlayStation Studios for decades, and we've remained confident in its future and creative direction. Previously, they were on Siphon Filter and the handheld Uncharted and the handheld Resistance.
Those are fun.
Apparently they were saying, Kotaku was saying that the game that they were working on was like a shooter-looter.
Shooter-looter.
So, I don't know if anyone would have even wanted that game.
Should have just made a
But it does
Days
suck that
Gone
people
multiplayer game.
Had to lose their jobs. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out, Bend. I love you.
Last one. During Konami's showcase that I missed
Yeah,
because
which none
I
of
had
us knew they had.
400 unread emails. They had a brief tease that Bloober is now working on a remake of the original Silent Hill.
Woo! The prophecy has come to pass.
And that's all we know.
Great.
All right.
That's it.
We
That's
will
all
wait
we know.
patiently because we just got 2 and we're getting F.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's good. That's good news.
Very good news. We're in a Resident Evil era for Silent Hill now. Let's go. Remakes and sequels. Crushing it. Let's hope the momentum continues.
Yeah, there's a big block of Silent Hill F in there too if you want to go back and check it
Yeah.
out later.
Oh, nice.
Also, Blood, it wasn't in this, but Metal Gear Delta is getting a multiplayer thing that is not Metal Gear Online, something different, like a stealth-based multiplayer mode.
weird.
Yeah. Sign me up.
All I saw about that was like that
Sign me
they
the hell
went
up.
into more details on like the monkey thing and the Bomberman there's a Bomberman thing going on in that Metal Gear game. So I missed the multiplayer part. Okay, cool.
Shout out Metal Gear Online. God, that was so fun. What a vibe. It's time for Love and Respect.
Love and respect.
From my Latin lover. Hola, allies. It seems like we're in the era I call Oops, All Soulslikes. So funny. It's so good. I know, I have to tell people, like, yo, Onimusha's not a Souls-like.
Right.
It's not.
It's true.
With Mortal Shell 2, Code Vein 2, Neo 3, Elden Ring, Night Rain, and Dusk Bloods all upon us, the genre seems really crowded. While I personally love a punishing third-person adventure filled with parries, intricate level design, and item-based lore, I'm wondering, has the Souls-like genre reached a point of complete global saturation? What franchise would be the best with a new genre? Personally, I'd love to see something like a Souls party game with brutal minigames like Guinevere's Big Blast or Solaire Says. So,
That would be funny.
how are we feeling about the Souls-like genre right now, and what would be the best genre for a current Souls-like? So, two-part question.
Well, thankfully we already got the legally distinct Bloodborne card.
Oh.
Yeah, true. It is funny because, like, you know, when the first platformers came out, right, and then everyone started making platformers. Platformers became a genre, and I wonder if there was a period of time where people were just like, "Oh, this is just a Pitfall like or a Mario like," or like, and how long did that last? Because like right now, like they're called Soulslikes, and FromSoft is like the de facto, king of the roost or whatever, and like I wonder how long before it just is like taken as a matter of fact that like it's just a 12th genre of gaming that everyone just accepts as ubiquitous,
Yeah.
I mean, the good news is that most of them aren't very good, so you don't have to worry about it. But yeah.
I think there's a lot of good ones. You lie.
There
You
are
lie,
more
Isla.
good ones now. The thing with hard games, is like the base has to be perfect, and like like FromSoft games, in my opinion, generally, like they have some eccentricities, but they are consistent in their jank and like fair within themselves. Some games are just like they're just hard to be hard, and I don't find that interesting.
Kazan is one of the hardest games I've ever played in my life.
Kazan is
for
like
sure.
it's
so
like too
freaking
hard.
good though.
It's solid. That one
It's
is very solid.
excellent.
It's just too hard.
Yeah, it's really freaking hard.
But yeah, there's a lot. But like there are a lot of platformers. There are a lot of Metroidvanias. There are a lot of puzzle games.
A lot
there are
of
first-person
Metroidvanias.
shooters. It's
So
like
right.
that's just video games. People
You're
do
so
what
right.
makes money.
Yeah.
That's a great comparison because there's so many Metroidvanias. You're so right.
It also feels like just trend chasing. Like companies just want to make a game that will sell, and they're seeing that's the popular genre, so there's like putting them out there, which is probably like, while you say they're good, like good amount of good ones, there's still a lot that are just like easily forgettable. So I do think that's part of it too. Is that it's just you can see something successful, just trying to copy it and get it out there as fast. We've seen this with so many genres, but like it's not like the genre's going to go away or anything like that. It's going to stay around. It's just you see this ebb and flow where it's going to be oversaturated, where it's at right now. A lot of developers say like, "Dang, we were too late to the party. We're going to move on to something else," and then you're just going to have like the ones that really were invested in making these types of games and had a vision or had the drive to want to do it, and you'll see those continue to thrive in this genre for sure.
To me, I think I agree with you to an extent, but also I think like to me stuff like hero shooters or battle royales or certain types of looter shooters, games as a service kind of stuff, those feel more trend chasey to me than a lot of Souls-likes, because Souls-like, the genre and the like title of Souls-like it feels like broad enough that like sure you have the basic tenets of a Souls-like combat and exploration thing, but your game can be completely different than the other ones.
Yeah.
Whereas like a hero shooter is a hero shooter. And like the skin can be different, but like the basics feel way more similar to me. Like maybe that's just me, but like I don't know.
Well, it feels like if someone's making a Souls game, they love it. Whereas if it feels to me like when people make an extraction shooter,
EA told them to.
Yeah, I don't necessarily feel the true love and passion there. That's my hot take, but
Not always, but yeah.
Not always.
But yeah, I definitely.
But like you can tell the Lies of P guys are just like, we love Bloodborne.
it.
Right.
It's like we wanted to do this.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where like if I see like a newer, smaller game that's like straight up billing itself as a Souls, like I am starting to get that fatigue, and it's like I might like that game when I play it, but when you're announcing it to me right now, it's like I don't know if I need another one. Yeah.
For me, I've started treating them like JRPGs now, where they take so much commitment. It better be really good, I'm not going to waste my time on such a long commitment with so many unlimited games, basically.
But then
I'm
it's
not
like
going to put myself through that torture sometimes because they are so challenging, unless I really, really, really love it. So I am getting a little more picky, I would say, about the Souls-like genre.
What is interesting though is
Liza P, play it.
also the kind of like we were talking about with Mina. It's like some of these things is like they're not really Souls-likes, but they pick up on some of these mechanics here or there. It's like, oh, you dropped your bones, you got to go pick them up, or you're going to lose that
Estus
batch.
Flask, bonfires, out of control.
Played multiple Metroidvanias at SGF the past weekend that had the S discharge.
Yeah,
I was like,
the S discharge
so
and
it's even
bonfire.
it's like Metroidvanias are now like taking it. It's like I mean, they are like
So many games do the like get back to your souls, get back to your body,
Yeah.
like bonfire
Yeah.
system. Yeah.
What would you like to see? What genre of game would you like to see Dark Souls do? Let's just say Dark Souls. A Dark Souls what?
Oh. That is a wild question. What franchise would be best with a new genre?
Yeah.
So,
Dark
well,
Souls.
I mean, I didn't expect FromSoft to do a weird like storm closing ring game, and
yeah.
I'm really enjoying Night Rain quite a bit.
Yeah.
Except for Hell is Other People, obviously. But yeah, geez. I mean, I think it would be interesting to have kind of a, because the hub is always such like a focus point on Souls games. So I think it would be interesting if FromSoft did a dungeon village type thing where you are the firekeeper. Like you're the emerald lady, you're the
Great
pancake
idea.
face girl.
Fantastic.
You are at the hub and you are running stuff.
So great.
And then adventurers are coming through, like NPC adventurers are coming through, and you're just setting things up for them. Like that would be kind of fun.
That does sound fun.
It'd be weird. It would be a very different thing.
Yeah.
But it's like a management game, like a sim game. I don't know.
Yeah.
If we're talking just FromSoft, like
For sure.
yeah,
I'll take a Bloodborne beat 'em up.
no farming.
They've done a little bit of this with specific boss fights, but I want them to do an evolve. The one person
that.
controls a giant boss monster.
Oh.
That game was almost great.
Yeah,
It was almost great.
it's like you run
I
in.
feel like they gave up and evolved faster. than
Too
they should have.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The foundation was there. For sure.
Evolve had promise, I think.
It did. Ah. Dang it, Blood. Reminding me about Evolve.
You know what though? Just still thinking about this because I'm thinking about Rat Bros
yeah.
in Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
So like a dungeon building thing where you set up the levels and try to make them hard.
Yes. Like that one canceled Fable game.
Yep.
Fable Legends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sick. All right. From Brandon.
Did Damiani get one? Did you have one?
I just have a goof. I mean, I don't seriously want them to do another genre, but why not make a Dark Souls? Just make a golf game where the golf courses has all these traps and stuff.
Sam's Fortress.
Yeah,
Oh my
Sense
God,
Fortress,
yeah.
mini golf. Sorry, yeah,
Mini golf,
There you
yeah.
go.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Zorgless says Super Dark Souls Maker. That would be fun.
Love this. From Brandon Kagan. Hello, everyone. Do you all know what makes this coming Sunday super special? It is the 10-year anniversary of one of the most impactful and longest-lasting moments and memories the gaming industry ever experienced. That's right. The E3 2015 Sony press conference game trailers reaction stream.
Oh wow.
Wow, 10 years. Which means, speaking for myself, it's been roughly 10 years since I first discovered most of the crew that has become easy allies, forever enshrined by a group of people who, like me, lost their mind at the announcement of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and especially by a guy whose love and passion for Shenmue will burn eternally in my heart. Because of this occasion, it got me reminiscing not just about that conference, that E3, and that stream, but the group as a whole and how many more wild and crazy reactions to even wilder and crazy announcements over the years has cemented me as a fan for life. So the question, do you all ever look back at that moment/night? If so, would you consider it one of the most defining in your careers? And specifically to Huber, how do you feel your reaction to the Shenmue 3 announcement being such a large part of your legacy as part of the gaming industry a decade later? Brandon K. Game.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, thank you for those very kind words.
Also, 10 years ago, God.
I think about it every once in a while, for sure.
I mean, I know it's one of the, like,
Yeah,
big moments. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I think about it as a moment in time, I guess. It is like this point in time, you know, where you just look back at your life and you have those pins, right, in different defining moments of your life, good, bad, weird, whatever, all of them. And that is definitely a moment that I do look back on, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, probably why you got to meet Yu Suzuki and do all of that, right? You know, right? It's like,
Exactly. Incredible moment.
yeah, it is definitely like crystallized the shift, because, you know, I'm fairly sure that might have been like the first year that we even did reactions to the press conferences.
Oh my
You know,
gosh.
before that, it's like we just hosted the press conference. You wanted to watch the press conference, you came to GameTrailers.com, you know, or you went to G4, you went to IGN, you went to GameSpot. That was pretty much it. You know, like even like the first parties didn't even have like a lot, you know, that stuff going yet. They weren't doing that on YouTube yet. And so, yeah, for us to even be watching along was kind of a new thing. You know,
Epic.
if we had done it before, we had maybe done it 1 year before, but I don't
So
even think
epic.
so. And yeah, and so I think it's one of those things where because that was such a like high energy, crazy moment, you know, it spread out to a lot of people and brought in a lot of people that didn't know who we were before that, you know, and so so it's in a weird way, it's like they don't even know. There's a lot of people that don't even know what Game Trailers was before the layoffs. It's like, yeah, but that's, you know, that's what led to us being able to do this at all. You know, us being able to like even conceive that this was possible. So
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
it is.
Yeah, I think we are feeling the ripples of that. Like when the guys, the Final Fantasy VII team came to our offices.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they were like, we watch your reactions. We love your reactions. Like
So
our
awesome.
stream room was like famous to them for some reason. And I was just like, oh, okay. Like that's insane.
That is
Like,
wild.
that was like learning that. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was that stream. I wish we had a like record of it more specifically, but it was that room where we said Shadow Drop for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which is crazy that picked up. But that press conference was legendary. It was so electric.
The best ever. I just hope for more Shenmue. I want Shenmue to be successful. You know what I mean? That's where sometimes it does feel a little weird just kind of looking back on it all, because I'm just cheerleading them on, you know. They're making it or not making it, you know. It's like, yeah. It's like I don't know. It's hard to explain. Is it time to play a game? From Code Spencer. Hello, allies. I'm back after not submitting for a while with another edition of Franchise Feud. While the name changed, the rules remain
This is
the
like
same.
they change the name every time. It's a different name.
Yeah.
I don't know what the last names were, but they say every time that it's a different name.
I am pitting two legendary video game franchises against each other. In each round, 2 games from that franchise will go head-to-head, and your job is to predict which one has the better Metacritic user score.
I hate this.
For one of these IDs, IMDb user score is because it wasn't on the Metacritic. The number of reviews and platforms have been provided as well, except one. Time for Grand Theft Auto versus The Elder Scrolls.
Okay.
So the whole franchise.
Yeah.
User score.
The games.
Well,
In a
Johnny,
so all of the
Average user score?
No. I think we're going game by game.
Game by game. So it's going to be a game from each. It's going to be a Grand Theft Auto game versus an Elder Scrolls game throughout the franchise. And you have to say which has the highest Metacritic user score.
Okay.
So first up, Grand Theft Auto 1 versus the Elder Scrolls Arena.
Grand Theft Auto 1.
Elder Scrolls
Arena, the card game?
I honestly don't even know.
Grand Theft Auto
I said
1,
Arena.
though. And I know so little about that game. I'm going to go Arena.
That would
don't
be GTA.
Hell yeah.
7.7 versus 6.3.
6.3. Woo!
Next up, GTA 2. Loved GTA 2. GTA 2 versus the Elder Scrolls Daggerfall.
I knew it'd be Daggerfall. GTA 2, dude. Daggerfall's pretty beloved, though, isn't it?
Daggerfall?
I think Daggerfall.
Bloodworth.
Sure, Daggerfall.
Daggerfall it is. 8.1 versus 7.4.
Yeah, okay.
Getting tighter.
Next up, just a couple of little games called Grand Theft Auto 3 and Morrowind.
Oh my god. Gotta go Morrowind. Oh, those are both perfect. That's a tie.
I'm going to go GTA, but good grief.
Morrowind.
GTA 3?
Morrowind.
Hell yeah.
8.5. GTA 3, 8.0. To be fair, 1,900 roughly reviews for GTA and only 270 for Morrowind. And it was the Morrowind Xbox version. I should have clarified that.
Oh.
But it still won with 8.5, which is crazy. GTA 3. Yeah, I love Morrowind too, though. Fuck. Next up, couple little games. Grand Theft Auto 4 versus Oblivion.
Oblivion.
The 360 version for each.
Oblivion.
Oblivion.
Oblivion 8.5, GTA 4 8.3.
Ooh,
And it's
close.
another-
Ooh, that's close.
It's another, the GTA is so popular, 5,000 user reviews versus 1,500, but still higher. Next up, I haven't even heard of this game. Grand Theft Auto 5 versus, I haven't heard of this one either, Skyrim.
Wow.
Grand Theft
Wow.
Auto 5?
I'm going to go GTA.
I'm going to tell you,
GTA 5.
I'm going to spoil
Wow.
this. I'm going to tell you the difference is 0.1.
Oh my god.
Alright.
There's no
Skyrim.
hope. I'm going GTA.
GTA 5?
GTA 5 8.5, Skyrim 8.6.
Oh.
I am acing this.
This one's funny. GTA Online versus The Elder Scrolls Online.
GTA
Elder
Online.
Scrolls
Elder
Online.
Scrolls.
GTA Online 4.0.
Oh shit.
F those shark cards versus 5.7 Elder Scrolls Online.
5.7.
Both hate it.
Wow. I figured that Elder Scrolls Online would be the more dedicated, whereas like GTA Online
Yeah,
is just
yeah,
like a bunch of guys that like, this is something I play.
And then
Wow.
lastly, I have a question for us. A prediction. Will GTA 6 or The Elder Scrolls 6 have a better Metacritic user score?
GTA 6.
GTA 6.
Probably GTA 6.
I think GTA 6 also. But also Grand Theft Auto,
It's so
it's
so
so
funny
popular.
because
Elder
it's like-
Scrolls 2, people hate it, people rag on it, but
But that's what's so funny is because they're both such like massive games that are
Yeah.
constantly getting re-released and are also so full of jank. There's more similarities there than I would have thought at first.
oh, that was a fun one. GTA 6 inching closer by the minute. One day. One day. By the way, before we get to this week's bets, Easy Allies patrons are getting 2 bonus love and respect questions. So,
Something about Death Stranding in there. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about something about Death Stranding.
yeah, something about Death Stranding.
Forgot to put a thing in there.
Yeah, it's cool, it's cool. So if you want to get in on that extended cut, consider becoming a $5 patron at patreon.com/easy allies. Get in there. By becoming a patron, you'll get an ad-free version of this podcast, and 2 days early, you get into the official Discord where it is just a jolly good time. They do lists or countdowns,
Yeah, the
rankings.
new top 10 just started, I think.
So fun. And you can submit questions like we just answered to Love and Respect and get the bonus
Yeah,
questions.
that's actually real important. Get in there. Get them questions.
Get
Give
the
me as many
questions.
questions, as many as you can. Everybody get in there.
Fire
Yeah.
off some questions. Ask us anything. Yeah. Also, if you really want to help us out to keep this ship going and fighting the Krakens and the Krakens on the waters, you can join one of our producer tiers. Our platinum producers get a shout out on this podcast each and every week. This month's shout outs go to Jabba and Elfanis. Shout out. Now come join us on Patreon for those bonus questions. Patreon.com/easyallies. And a shout out to Shu on this podcast.
Yeah.
Doing the shout outs. That was so fun. That was so cute. All right. It's time for bets. This week's bet. The return of the reptile. Gex. The Gex trilogy is out next week. I bet a lot of you are like, oh, Gex is coming back? What? The Gex trilogy is out next week. We're going to look at the top 10 English reviews on OpenCritic. How many times will we find the word reptile? Arrogant Child, Damiani.
10.
10 reptiles.
One for each.
The Wicked Worm, Daniel Bloodworth.
I'm going 5.
Fiver.
I will say,
Uh-oh.
I expect there might be some reptilian in there, but not reptile.
Reptilian.
Would that count?
No, it's not reptile.
It's reptile.
Okay. 5.
Whimsical Scum-Isla.
I did 8.
8.
Mm-hmm.
2 small pair.
2 small pair. 8s.
And 8s.
Hard 8. Coming to my life in a couple weeks. I'm excited. Punish Castellanos Dawn.
He said 2.
2. That's a fucking good bet. The Strange Valentine Gabby.
She too said 2.
2 and a 2.
Paradeuces. And myself, the Fancy Stars member, Huber, says lucky number 7.
Oh.
Wow, we grouped it up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was no bet last week. And stay tuned for the other bets regarding the betting special. Stay tuned. It's cooking. You don't like that anymore, right? It's cooking.
I haven't liked it for a while.
What would you like to replace
Why
it
don't
with?
you like that?
Why would-
Oh, it's
What?
because it's played out.
We'll offer a replacement.
Oh, I'm not the one who comes up with a replacement.
He just loves
right.
the critiques out.
I love it. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, simmering,
I accept it. Yeah.
loading, building,
Developing.
Developing?
Just as is, yeah.
oozing
Take your time.
forth.
Be patient.
Yeah. There's no rush.
Just wait for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to say it's cooking when I served in restaurants. It was my favorite
Okay,
thing when I was being passive aggressive to rude tables.
Okay.
Rude tables.
Acceptable use here.
Yeah,
This
rude-
is acceptable use.
Rude tables would be like, "Where's my food?" I'd always be like, "It's cooking."
It's cooking.
Like, what do you want me to say? It's cooking. The food is cooking. It is coming. I don't. I'm not a time traveling magician. What do you want from me?
I think it's more specifically, I don't like it when it says let them cook.
Yeah.
You know,
Let it cook.
yeah, that specifically.
Just a quick update on the scores. Don Punish Castellanos has 6, and the Wicked Worm Bloodworth has 4. So there you go. Promotions. We got a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. We were cooking. For real, Damiani. We were out here cooking. Piles and piles and piles of Summer Game Fest coverage. reactions, previews, interviews, Shu, the blighted drink box demo. They were in the studio.
Yeah.
Huber hype, betting specials, all of the content. You can find the full playlist on our channel page or easyallies.com. Nice and easy. All right there.
Yeah. Be sure to look out for those big blocks. We did 2 big blocks, a day 1 and a day 2. Each one of those has 21 previews in it, a piece.
Jeez.
So there's a lot there. I also put those on the podcast feed this week, so people that are just getting the audio or watching on Spotify, get those there as well. But we have others that are not there.
Hijacking this podcast for 2.5 minutes. All of you can humor everybody because I'm sure everybody wants to know. We almost escaped this whole thing. Game of the show. I would like each of your favorite thing that you saw. You didn't have to play it. Favorite thing you saw. I, not counting Resident Evil Onimusha, not fair. For me, Ill. Of course, Ill.
Oh,
Looked
even from there.
so awesome. Came out of nowhere. Brand new IP. The people making it worked on movies as well. The shotgun and creatures looked incredible. That was my That was my game of the show that I saw. I'm cheating also. Game of the show that I played, Shinobi, of course. 10 out of 10. Shinobi is actual game of the year material from what I played. Not kidding.
I can give you the one I had the most fun playing, which was playing Lego Party with Dawn.
And I played Shinobi with Dawn. It was awesome.
Yeah.
The Dawn effect.
It was just once in a lifetime experience, you know.
awesome.
Wait like 5 years when they make another one and maybe be there. Yeah.
Now when that comes out, we're gonna play the hell out of it.
The chaos.
Yeah. Okay. If you're still looking, we can go to Isla maybe.
I mean, Silent Hill F and RE9 are my most anticipated now. Sleep Awake was really cool.
Yeah.
Oh geez. Chromagun 2, honestly, I wish I got more time with that. I was really into that. That was a very me kind of a thing.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to us playing Directive 8020. I don't know that it'll be the best one they've done, but I think it'll be fun.
Very promising. Cool.
Yeah, I guess is that enough?
That was enough. Yeah, for sure. Dawn, Isla, or Dawn, Gabby, and Blood.
Gabby's not here right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to screen back through the State of Play and Summer Game Fest to think of those. But in terms of the stuff I actually saw at the show,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ambrosia Sky and Sword of the Sea and Mixtape.
Nice picks, Bloodworth.
Probably the top ones, but
those
also
are great
Mixtape
picks.
really surprised me.
Yeah, Mixtape looks incredible. And Sword of the Sea. I walked by. I got to see it in motion, and oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then check out. We just talked about, but check out my interview for Luminous Arise.
Great.
Because really, it was one of those things where it's crap. I've never played Luminous. What am I going to talk about? But then because it's a follow-up to Tetris Effect.
Yeah.
There's all of this stuff started pouring out, and it was really good to just talk to them about what they've done, what they're pulling further, how they're pulling in people that don't know anything about Luminous, creating interactive music. And that's coming out fairly soon.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Don?
Yes, I really liked a couple of the games I got to check out on the show floor, including Luz Lagoon continues to shape up.
You have gotten me so hyped on that, Don.
Earlier, yeah. Tailspin style airplane flying between islands, has a little bit of building, collecting, adventure, all kinds of stuff. But I'm going to call out, Huber already mentioned, we've talked about it a few times, how much we both equally fell in love with Shinobi. So Shinobi, yes, but I'll also call out Ninja Gaiden because it is the year of the ninja with both of these awesome 2D retro platformers coming back. Ninja Gaiden also felt really, really good, I gotta say. It may not be the level of complexity that Shinobi had on a lot of levels, but it felt so good. And the best surprise for Ninja Gaiden, for me, the thing I was most nervous about was it didn't have like a bang your head against the wall difficulty right out of the gate. It was ramping up like really nicely, okay? So the first early part of the game that I played.
Yeah,
was like
Don, I think you can get that
sweet
demo at home now
challenge.
too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so
Yeah.
check that out then. I think that's the one I tried. So really nice difficulty on that. So pumped.
Heck yeah. And I saw Gabby back there. Pick one.
She says ill.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Ill looks stunning. Stunning. Awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Did Damiani say one?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Love it. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. Damiani, loved having you here, man. So much. Thank the patrons also. Thank you so much
Oh, yeah.
for
Heck yeah.
Thank you.
making that possible. Thank the mods for all the work they did this week as well.
Oh, we have to shout out Screaming Argonaut again for the
Always.
goodie bags.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I think it was
gaming
clutch.
Yeah, like no joke. Because there's so many crazy things in there. They're like, oh, I'm probably never gonna need that, right?
You did.
Like no joke. There was one day at lunch where I needed to pull out that goodie bag twice because they had these metal water bottles, like Fallout themed metal water bottles, and Amy from Future Games Show, she had opened it and then like the ring underneath sliced her finger open.
Oh my god.
And she didn't even notice it for a little while. And then I was like, oh, I've got a Band-Aid. So like, because Screaming Argonaut gave me Band-Aids.
Nice. Medical assistance from Screaming Argonaut.
Then minutes later, Rihanna has the ice cream there because they had that free ice cream cart, which was amazing. And she dribbled some ice cream on her blouse. I'm like, oh, I've got a Tide pad if you need that. If that'll help. So there we go.
The assist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've used the nail kit several times. I fixed Sophia's glasses with the glasses Kate, her sunglasses. I've used the hand sanitizer, the Tums, like the lint roller. Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you, Screaming Argonaut.
Top
Thank you, all the mods.
tier.
It's been an amazingly busy week,
Yes.
and you've all been amazing. Thanks to everyone who came to the meetup. That was really
Yep,
cool.
The meetup. Thanks for everybody that has just been following along all week as well. Just
Thanks to Alex Jordan for just dropping by straight off an airplane.
That was great.
Yeah.
Thanks to Shu for dropping by.
Yeah.
That was insane.
and I'm gonna throw to Damiani here to just
Hi.
close out the show, man.
I get twice.
Yeah, because you're here. You're in the flag.
To win the bets.
You get to shout out to
oh.
anything on your mind. Final word, trademark sign off, whatever you want to say, man.
Yeah, I'll just give more echo the shout out we've just been doing. Thanks to everybody. And again, really, really fun and appreciative and awesome to see everybody in person and, hang out again. So always a good time for that. So thank you to our patrons for enabling that and allowing that to happen.
Got to see Karate Kid Legends
Yes,
together.
that was the start.
So
That
sick.
feels like a month ago.
I know, it does feel like a month ago. That's
Feels
crazy.
so long ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, good stuff. Final word. Man, we talked about so much. Nintendo, get that direct out, baby. We need that big game. We need a big second half of the year game. Gotta get you got the launch. You gotta get people excited. Like year one, you had so many good games on Switch that were like Switch exclusive. You gotta do it.
After 10 a.m. though, please.
And we know we don't got Smash Brothers this time around after the year one to get everyone excited for like the next 2 years. You gotta those character reveals. I was thinking about that. It's gonna be stink that we're not gonna have like character reveals possibly for a while because
Oh, no.
Sakurai's occupied and like best we can get is like a re-release of Smash Ultimate or something. I don't know, but we'll see. And as always, until next time, may the way of the hero lead to the Triforce.
Dude, if he swallows you, I'm hard out. Like, get me out of this game, dude.